afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the last and final blowout day for the Standoff 2 minor. We have 2 matches, 4 teams. We're going to find out today who is going to be in their positions for 4th through 3rd and all the way up to 1st place. Find out who's going to be, where they're going to be landing, who they're going to be doing, and all the matches through. But before we get too far into that, I am a Master 15, and of course, I am welcomed with the one you do know. You've seen him all week, Twist.
Hello, everyone. Hello. I'm glad to be back. I watched yesterday's games. They seemed like a blast, and so I'm glad to be back for the finals because I actually want to see some how it goes. Because yesterday was quite big upsets, right? Like from what we saw yesterday, you would not have expected that. Like if you bet your money, you probably lost it. So don't gamble, kids, I guess. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. So I hope the same happens today. There were definitely, I think, even 2 upsets yesterday, but both of these best of 3s actually went the distance of the 3rd map. And I saw you guys watch Sandstone, which is I really hope we get to see Sandstone today, because for the whole week,
yeah, we did.
For the whole group stage, I casted like so many matches. How many? 6 days. So I casted like 24 different maps, and there was 0 Sandstone. So I hope that we see Sandstone today. But here is kind of how the playoffs have went so far. I mean, playoffs only happened yesterday, and we're continuing today. But yeah, yesterday's games were Saints versus STREETEIGHT, and STREETEIGHT actually coming out with an upset. Like I don't think most people expected STREETEIGHT to actually take it. And then Horizon versus Winstrike. Horizon was close; they were definitely close, but Winstrike ultimately, they proved why they are the LAN champions, and so Horizon, they're not gonna kind of complete. They're not gonna get the year off on the foot that maybe they wanted it to get it off on, because well, they were looking to go to the finals to see if they can actually take 1st place. But today the first game is actually about 3rd place, so there's gonna be best of 3 Saints versus Horizon for who takes the 3rd place and who takes the 4th place. And then 3 hours later, I mean, we start this game pretty much now, so in 3 hours we'll have the 2nd game, which is of course STREETEIGHT versus Winstrike, and that'll be the actual finals. But why would they like, normally when there's like a 3rd place match, like teams don't actually try as much, because it's like, well, we already didn't make it to the like real finals, so it doesn't really matter who takes 3rd place. Well, I think today will be different, because look at the prize pools. You actually get like money for both 3rd and 4th place, so it actually matters. Like 3rd place gets double what 4th place gets, so I think the tensions are going to be high even in the kind of 3rd place best of 3 here, because obviously both teams want to take as much money as they. I'm not saying they're greedy, just obviously want to maximize their profits that they can. So I think we're going to see a great first game as well. What do you think, Master?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's really going to be huge, to where these guys, they're going to be finding out. I mean, 40 and 80,000, it's not too bad. Unfortunately, as I mentioned yesterday, somebody had to get knocked out, and it sucks, but it is the way it is and the way the tournament progresses. So this 3rd and 4th place, you're still, being that it's double, it's still worth fighting for. It's still worth getting that 3rd place and being able to do that. Horizon, even though they're not able to get 2nd or 1st place at this point, I think at this point, they are definitely going to be trying their hardest to try and get as high as they can. I mean, 80,000 would be wonderful for them and for, the team itself, and, get as high, especially for the accolades, onto their stats, being able to have at least a bronze level win at that point instead of silver or gold. But I honestly think it's going to be pretty good matching across the board. I mean, Saints did pretty good, but Horizon also did really, really well against Winstrike. It came down to just 1 round is what set it apart.
Yeah, that's what I saw. It was really, really crazy. Like definitely props to Horizon. I think especially in this 3rd place matchup, they are like in a better position to actually take it. Like, you have to remember, in groups they went undefeated, right? Like they were actually the only team in groups that to go 3 wins, because I believe on the other side we had Winstrike, newly named Winstrike back then in the groups. So it was Revile for people wondering. But anyhow, Winstrike they got like 1st place, but they got 2 wins and 1 draw. So they had 1 point less. Horizon finished off the groups at like 6 points, just like flying high. Personally, I was thinking that they were going to make it to the finals, but again, I feel like these semi-final seedings were, for me, it would have been more fun if like both of these best of 3s and semi-finals were like Winstrike against, let's say, STREETEIGHT, and then Horizon against like the other team, because against Saints, because here I kind of feel like we already almost got the finals before the finals even happened, because the two best teams theoretically, at least in groups, Winstrike and Horizon, there was just no way for them to both advance to the final here.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely was. I mean, it was really intense, and if you guys missed it yesterday, please go back and check it out for the stream that it was. But literally, right at the end, it was down to the last couple of rounds, and at least from looking at it as at a bird's eye view, as we are as a caster, there was a round right there at the end that they should have gone eco, so then they could have enough cash for the next 2 rounds. They did not, and it came down to that last round that they lost, and then in which case that turned into them losing it, and then they ended up having to do broken buys, in which case at the end it wasn't going to happen. So again, we see that as a bird's eye view, and in which case they can always go back to the stream, they can see that issue, and potentially later on be able to correct that. But we're going to go ahead and see Saints. We saw them yesterday, but you got to see their beautiful faces again. These are your guys going to be playing today. They're doing great. They did a great job yesterday as well. But unfortunately, STREETEIGHT just found it in them. Because STREETEIGHT started out real slow. But ultimately, they were able to kind of find their groove and were able to take the win. Saints, again, was doing wonderful at the first start. But it slowly built up, and over time, they started to dwindle. And STREETEIGHT started to do really, really good. And that's just sometimes the nature of the beast, and sometimes everybody starts off crazy, like we saw with Horizon and Winstrike, where they were just neck to neck to each other's throats, no more than 2 rounds separating them. But again, then other times, sometimes it runs away and somebody gets a lead, and then they never take it back.
Yeah, that Saints game, definitely like a battle of attrition. It was like, again, as you said, at first it was looking good, but then ultimately, who can prove themselves on all 3 maps is ultimately what matters. You can have a great first map, but because they're doing best of 3s now, rounds don't really matter as much. One game performance doesn't really matter as much. Now here we can actually see the players. I like this addition. I did not see this. I mean, I haven't casted yet where we see the players, so it's gonna be interesting for me to kind of get these faces together with their usernames. But yeah, those are the guys from Horizon. They were looking solid. They were definitely looking solid, but falling just 1 round short of actually making it to the finals, which is 100% heartbreaking for them. But again, this is a learning experience. It always is when you're playing at this level. So hopefully they can take this and come back stronger the next time. We'll really see how that one goes. But yeah, Horizon so far have been very, very good. I mean, especially in group stage, they were just dominant, right? Like they were able to shut down most teams without any big questions about who's gonna actually take the best of 2. There was no. I feel like there weren't even any time where they were like 1 round or two round difference in the best of 2. Like most of the time, Horizon were really, really solid. But as it often goes, when it actually comes to winning the thing, it's way harder than just kind of showing up at the start of the tournament.
Yeah, it is, and you got to be able to hold that momentum and be able to keep going. And just unfortunately, that's just up to some people to they have to learn and be able to figure out how to keep yourself good at the beginning. You're getting into it, you're feeling good, you're getting those rounds, but you got to somehow bring it back down. Know that you got to keep that level head, because as you continuously progress through, it's gonna get harder and harder as you get more fatigued. Maybe some rounds aren't going your way. Maybe just you guys are getting too excited. There's sometimes that you guys are doing so good and you want to celebrate, but it's not over yet. If you overdo it, sometimes you could really change your mental game and really mess yourself up into where you start losing those rounds. Then if you're already messing up because you're doing so good, you start going down on your rounds, and it just spirals down as you're feeling terrible. So being able to be like, all right, we got the round, good job, virtual fist bumps, right? Just all right, good. And just keep doing what you do, just so you can really keep up that steady pace, because it's all about winning the marathon, not the rounds.
Yeah, most definitely. This is not a game where you can just have a few good rounds and then just kind of tap out. I think one of the worst things, as you touched on, is actually like getting really hyped and getting a really good start to a game. Because when you actually start losing, which is most of the time inevitable, unless you just absolutely crush your opponent, which doesn't happen, at least at the top levels of competition. It's like when you start losing, it's almost like you could be up 2 rounds, but if you lost let's say you were up like 7-2, right, and then you lose like 5 rounds in a row. Well, now it's 7-7, so theoretically, like, it's an equal playing field. It's like almost a 0-0, but because of you having lost those last 5 rounds, like, it just impacts you way worse mentally. So yeah, most definitely, like, one of the hardest things to kind of push through and fight with, at least from my own experience when I played competitively, was kind of when you started off the game really good. You were just like on cloud 9, you were flying, everything was going your way, and then suddenly when the first kind of roadblocks, when the first failures come, it's just like, it takes an extra level of strength to actually overcome that and actually win out the game. So I mean, yeah, that's kind of what we saw a bit yesterday. We'll see how that goes tomorrow, how that goes today, that is. Yeah, it should be pretty fun, right? I think the first best of 3 is definitely going to be more one-sided, in my opinion. I think Horizon are going to have maybe not an easy game, but not one of the hardest. But then when we move on to the finals, that's gonna be fun. Anyways, no sandstone. Oh, never mind. I am used.
It's the decider.
I am used to the old 2 maps. So I was like, Rust and Zone 9. Well, that's a classic, and so sandstone's getting banned. But no, because we're playing best of 3, we are gonna see sandstone, which I am really, really happy and thankful about. I want to see this map, and it's a decider map, nevertheless. Now, it would really be a good sense of humor from God or whoever it is if one of these teams just went like and won the best of 3 in a two map manner, and we never got to see sandstone. But I really, fingers crossed that we see sandstone, fingers crossed that it goes distance.
Yeah, sandstone was honestly really great to see, and that's where we got to see just one of the best knife kills yesterday, where hanging out behind the door, just got a shotty in hand. They saw the barrel. I can't remember who it was, but they saw the barrel and just pulled out their knife, whipped it, turned the corner, just gut slash, got the kill, and just kept running. It's like, oh, it's terrible. It was just, at any day of the week should have been a shotgun blast, but they just went straight through the gun and just went straight for it. It was great. But Sandstone was honestly really good to finally see in like a competitive sense of where people were hiding, and some of those spots are really nasty, really, really good, to where honestly I saw more shotgun action than I think we ever had. Just based on some of those spots, like either just behind the door where you can hang out, or outside windows, right over the A bomb site. It was just crazy. People were using smokes right there at the door, and they just hang out with a shotgun. It was great, honestly, to see just a really, really, really different play style that we have seen across the maps. Which currently, with what we're going to be going up against with Rust and Zone 9, these are going to be 2 small, fast-paced maps, and then going into Sandstone, that's going to have to pretty much flip, because to be able to go into that, and then the entire playstyle will have to change. So I'm hoping we get a 1-1 so we can get and see who's able to transition to that a lot better. Will it be Saints? Will it be Horizon? That's up for you guys in the chat to kind of decide who you want to vote for or root for that, to see who can take it all the way through to the end, or if someone's just going to clean sweep it.
I kind of feel that Horizon might clean sweep it, at least in looking at the analytics. Like, they definitely seem like the better team, right? So yeah, I am expecting Saints to have to put up a really hard fight to actually take down Horizon. But I mean, again, you can't really base your predictions off of the group stage, because, well, from what we've seen so far, if those predictions were correct, then Horizon should be in the finals. But I mean, there's only one way how you can really figure out which team is going to take it, and that is by actually watching the game. So we are underway. Saints versus Horizon. So far, a clean slate for both teams. Every game starts from 0-0, so Saints have every possibility to actually get the opener here, but we'll see what Horizon have prepared. Seems like they are taking the slower approach to this build round, and Saints are grouping up towards A side of things, which is where actually Horizon are looking for kills, but the bomb is towards B, so I think they're just going to kind of play picks until they can find one side that's actually easier to attack.
Look, you don't want to do what I did yesterday, and I went super technical. I was looking at all the stats, and I'm like, see, you see these stats we have from 2022, and I got absolutely obliterated yesterday. It was it was terrible. Every time I looked at something, I'm like, well, they have a lot more playtime, and their win ratio is great, and it was just absolutely an upset for myself. I mean, I was just trying to do that, but I got showed hard that the stats mean absolutely nothing.
Yeah, that's often the case, especially if like you look at player stats. Like oftentimes they perform completely differently based on what team they play for. But Saints,
Yeah.
well, at least they're performing because they only lose the Zerg, and that is one on the board. At Horizon, they don't even get the bomb down. They don't even get any kills. So I think their economy is definitely not in a position where they would even want to buy like upgraded pistols. I think that they just might just go 5 Glocks without any utility, which is, I mean, smart. Is definitely not something you want to do, but it's something you have to do because Saints, I mean, there's, I think, no chance for Horizon to actually lose this round. I mean, it's a 5v5, but as soon as one of those pistols starts pushing, I think they're just gonna get sprayed down one by one.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably going to be a really bad time. I mean, Horizon losing the first one. Yeah, I mean, it's really great for Saints. Again, as we knock on wood here about the stats with Horizon, they're supposed to be, theoretically better. But, as of yesterday, Street 8 doesn't have a whole lot of stats, and the stats they do have didn't look good, but yet, they won Sandstone, and they theoretically have never won on Sandstone and the competitive sense. So seeing that Horizon looking real good for themselves as far as Rust goes. I mean, but technically Saints has played more here. But they also, their win versus, either side is about the same. But technically Horizon is supposed to be a little bit better. So Horizon, still not in a good spot, though. I mean, it is pistols for the second round, so this is kind of expected with them running up against SMGs and rifles. I mean, Deserve doing a really good job using the hero rifle for the team. I mean, we do see still very, very much so going up against just, I mean, well, I was going to say SMGs, but Deserve is just really popping everybody's face off and taking all the kills. He's now in the top spot for the team already. So, I mean, now that everybody's going to potentially buy up maybe Star Foxy, he can steal some of those away. And we do see almost a full entire buy for the side of Horizon. Do see a FAL, which still just fine, but we'll see what he can do with it.
Yeah, honestly, I am quite impressed by what you can do with the FAL. Every time I spectate someone who uses it, I mean, for a gun that costs like 2,000 or around that price range, it really is good, especially in long range, which isn't like usually the case for these kind of lower tier rifles. But yeah, FAL is definitely good. What else is good is Gentleman, but only good for one as he goes down by being refragged. So now, finally, when we get into the first, I mean, somewhat rifle round, like this is the thing, like if you buy up for the second round, normally you have the worst buy for the third, actually, because if you don't lose any players, well, then those MP7s remain in rotation. So even though they're not bad, like they're definitely decent in medium to close range, rifle is just a little bit better because obviously rifle also covers that long range of things. So Horizon, however, are moving towards A, which is quite short range, or at least you can pick short range angles to hold. So I think Saints should be good for at least one. But I actually like how Horizon are playing this. Like, even when they are pretty much 4 people committing towards A side of things, they're still not overdoing it, right? Like, the bomb is still dropped. They could still at any point rotate towards B if by, any chance they perhaps spot like a stack or like, just one of them goes down and they see a point for rotation. But anyway, he's just going to push in. He does make the jiggle peek, but doesn't spot anyone. Actually, the site is evacuated. Very interesting play by Saints here. They're just playing on retakes because, yeah, the bomb goes down uncontested. So now 4v4 retake. I mean, it's a fair play. It's a fair play if you don't want to lose a player, but at the same time, just letting them plant without any kind of pushback, it's interesting. We'll see how that IGL's choice will kind of work out in long term. Star Foxy trying to spot some players, but without any utility, it's going to be hard to just retake the side. They are smoking off the door, so that's good. Oh, and he's just so flash. What is happening? Star Foxy can't see anything there, but he is still holding this upper angle, and there's nobody anywhere else. So the fuse is just going to come in, or is it Carousel? How does he deny that? Now the fuse comes in again, but it's a 7-second defuse.
Oh no!
And Deserve finally finishes off, but is there time? No, there's not. Horizon, they actually take this round. I thought this was Saints round any day, like especially with 3 players from Horizon having grouped up towards that door area and that being smoked off. I thought, you know, they're just gonna pretty much ninja defuse. Like there's not much that that Horizon can do here, but somehow, I don't know how, they just get the smoke spam, they get the diffuser off the bomb, and even though Saints are able to kill everyone, there's just not enough time left. So actually, a very good round coming in there by Horizon, and finally they get themselves on the scoreboard, you know, get some of that confidence back that they maybe lost in the pistol and the consecutive, and they're looking good.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, that was what I would say, well, I would hope it was. It looked like to me that they almost did a fake where they got the double kill, and Caruso was just hanging out, acting like he was dead, like nobody else was up there, and was waiting for the bomb to start being defused, just so he could pop out and cancel it at the last second. That was beautiful to just have the discipline to not try to continuously shoot, act like he's dead, and then just be able to clutch that. I mean, even though he still died, it was just long enough to be able to get that to go through.
Yeah, that was definitely a very smart play. You know, oftentimes it's not really about how quickly you can get the kill, or you know how high your kind of aim is, or your aim skill level is, I guess. But it's also a lot about how high your IQ is, like how you really play those rounds, especially in those clutch situations. Like aim really isn't everything in a clutch, because most of the time they know where you are. So it's a lot more about kind of figuring out how to play the game in a way that there is no way for your opponent to actually get the advantage, you know, how to kind of make the power play. So yeah, great stuff coming in there from Caruso. And I mean, even though he is low in this round, I'm sure he is still at least good for one. At least most of the time when you watch Caruso, he is really, up there in terms of what he can do with what he is given. Now, gentlemen, he is trying to hold 2 angles here, although the double doors are smoked off. But I think if he spots one, he can just go for the spam and pretty much get a double. Like 2 players on the other side of the doors are really low. Like they really shouldn't go for entry frags here. Like if you're low, you should always let the guys who are full HP to actually go for the peaks. So yeah, we'll see how that plays off. Now, Inverness is looking around, but that's interesting. Horizon have actually went B, so they completely fool Saints here. Is there enough time to plant? Yes, there is. Time is low, but there is enough of it. So Saints, they're once again looking at a retake, and I mean, this one looks a little bit more promising, especially with 3 players being half or low, actually. So Inverness, he just pushes in, gets one, knows where the second one is, backstabs, pre-fires, gets the shot, and I mean, this should be over. Reason is pretty much dead. The defuse comes in, Sid finishes it off on style. And so that's Saints punching back. As quickly as they lose round, they get one back here.
Yeah, honestly, they're doing great in this earlier stage. You know, that's why what I mentioned yesterday is I'm hoping Saints was going to be doing their practicing. You know, they got done with their match first, so that they were going to be studying and practicing. They had about 24 hours to do it. So it looks like they've utilized their time properly, and they have come back and they're ready to go up against Horizon. Now, again, I don't know if it's just Horizon, they got a slow start, if they're just going to build up. But, you know, they've got to kind of bring it back a little bit. You know, I mean, I know yesterday was a bit crazy and they probably weren't too happy about that, but just being able to be like, hey, we've got this today, because what you don't want is 4th place. So if they can, get up there at least, that'd be great to 3rd again, as we said today. But they definitely need to kind of build this back up again. And hopefully for Saints, it's not a repeat of yesterday where they start off really, really strong, and then all of a sudden everybody starts going down, and then that slow start for the opposite team starts building, and they're able to, unfortunately, take it away from them.
Yeah, momentum oftentimes is almost, you'd say, everything. So we'll see how Saints carry on with their momentum, and if they're actually able to get this first game off on a very good start, or are Horizon going to come back? I mean, it's going to be hard, but this is not a way how you want to lose a round. Tech 9 getting a double there, Necro going absolutely insane. So, I mean, even though Star Fox is able to get Envy, this is still not a round that Saints would even consider losing. 1v2 now. Zeiss has recovered an M4, but I think his position is known. So he's looking to spot someone, but they actually get spotted first. He's going to pick up the bomb. 35 seconds still left on the clock. I think he fakes the plan. People are pushing in, so Now he goes for the actual plant. So even though he gets that, I think he might just get sandwiched here. Exais try to pre-fire an angle, but like they know where he is. They know 100% where he is. He is able to get one, and he knows where the other player is. Always looking around, but Star Foxy does actually finish him off. That was close. Good attempt by Exais, but the Saints extending their lead here.
Star Foxy didn't even take just about anything from that, so he's able to really do some good work. And again, that's gonna be Saints racking up another one onto the board. I mean, again, they're doing really good at this point, 4-1, and the fact that they were doing essentially the same things. I'm hoping here in probably 2-3 more rounds they continue to keep this lead, because that seems to be the that problem as we were discussing. The being able to keep up with it instead of feeling too good about it. I mean, obviously, if you're doing great, yay, be happy about that. But it seems like they're still doing strong. They're still hanging in there. Except I'll feel happy as we see a couple more rounds, and maybe this gap is still here with Horizon. Interestingly, though, to see Sid coming in with a shotgun. I mean, if he's going to be hanging out here for the door here, it's honestly perfect to be using. But seems like he'd probably use it, take the gun, and keep going, so you don't have to spend the extra cash. But this spot yesterday was so huge. We got to see, a double-decker jump up to that spot. And I believe it was Sid himself who just absolutely blasted the person's face, and was just unexpected because he whipped around quickly and just blasted the face. So it's a good spot to hold. It's good information to got on either side, but at least Saints are at least prepared for that spot.
I think Saints are prepared for everything, at least for now. In these 5 rounds, they're looking really dominant. Like, pretty much any advance that Horizon make, they're somehow able to shut out. But, oh, what is that? Necro with a headshot and Carousel with a nade just dumps it on Carousel. So, obviously, as soon as I say something good about Saints, that happens. So, now it's 3v5. The site is somewhat open. I mean, there is Sid there on that shoddy, so he could do a lot. But actually, Horizon, they're not fully committed to the site, and that actually might prove as an issue here, because the bomb is rotating over towards B, but there's still one player left on B, and Inverness is actually in a pretty good weapon on B, so if he's able to isolate his gun duels, I mean, get at least one and stay alive, that would definitely make things hard. But it seems like Horizon are able to open up the bomb site. Now, the Zerv does know where one player is. He does get the spam. It's actually Sid somehow. He gets that shotgun frag. So now 2v4, and I'm not even sure if Saints want to go for this. Necro takes down Sid, so the Zerv, the only one left alive here. Yeah, so Horizon find their second. I mean, it's good that they do, because otherwise I feel like Saints would have accelerated too quickly, especially in this CD side of things. It's very easy to just string together some rounds, continuously break the economy. So it's good. It's definitely good that Horizon are able to find their second, but they might actually be able to find their third, because look at the buy on Saints. Even though they won pretty much every single round before this one, a lot of them got taken down as well, so they're only on FSs and Deagles here, and they do have some money, but I think they just opted it's smarter to, almost guaranteed lose this round, but then be good in the economy department pretty much for the rest of the half year. Oh, that's a very aggressive peek by Sid there, but he is able to get away. So now holding a different angle, but this is like really close. Like he needs to, just have the better aim, have insane aim to actually take down rifle. I think he needs to connect like 2 headshots close range to actually get it. So yeah, it might be a little challenging. Now, he is watching this tree angle here, which is actually quite hard to counter. Like, if somebody boosts up there and you're not watching this, you're almost at a loss. Oh, Gentleman is heard, but somehow he connects it on Exais. What is that from Gentleman? He keeps pushing, gets some more damage in. This is not a round you can afford to lose if you're Horizon. Gentleman, he gets so much damage. Necro and Carousel are both half, but, eventually they are able to find them, and so Inverness, he has a good chance, or I guess he doesn't, because Envy, he is the better INV username player. He just takes down Inverness, and well, that makes it closer once again. Horizon are definitely not looking to allow Saints to go very big in this game.
No, they definitely had a good chance. I mean, all that damage that was dealt, it could have been an easy time, but unfortunately, they just had the better crosshair placement and ready to, plow right into it and be able to take him out. So it looked good, but if someone had just had, I don't know, an SMG, maybe, someone had bought up with a hero weapon of some kind, I think it might have potentially worked. If they had gotten into the right placements, but it may have just been the same exact thing. But honestly, they did a great job. And for pistols, that was better than I probably could have expected, especially with those one taps. Not too bad. And so now that they have all the extra cash, they've bought up what they need to. It's not looking the best right now, but they are only one player down. One double kill can easily change this. So it shouldn't be too bad. A little bit of damage being dealt. Looks like grenades flying, Sid. But nothing too bad. But it looks like A will be the place for the fun to happen. So they may need to have Inverness rotate over, and Deserve maybe trying to come from a backstab, but pretty sure they're going to be expecting that.
Yeah, it's interesting that Saints have actually pushed all of their players towards A, so if Horizon push it, I mean, there should be in a good place, and this is very big by Deserve. Yeah, he's going for the backstab. I'm not sure if he's being watched. Actually, he's not, so, oh, he might go so big here, because all of them on the side of Horizon are on side, but the bomb is not planted yet. So if Deserve can find the correct timing here, which I think he will, that's pretty much a guaranteed one, probably even two. Now, Exercise is looking, and he actually spots Horizon. That's not...
What?
That's not the way how you want to go down if you're Deserve. Somehow Exercise is just pinpoint accurate with that AK, so quick. Deserve doesn't even get any damage in it. I mean, with that, Saints have to evacuate. There's not really much debate about it.
I mean, maybe he had to sneeze at the wrong moment. I mean, that should have been him any day of the week, having that, and even to seeing the gun barrel first, and he stops. But unfortunately, yeah, he just had, as soon as he popped the corner, he just somehow did not win that gun duel. And again, any day of the week should have been him, but hopefully they can correct it. They at least both of them were able to stay alive. Wait, at least a little bit of revenge. Zeiss going down, so that's gonna be a little bit extra of a hit over to Horizon, but there's still two of them alive, which is great. They're able to buy the weapons they need, able to share the love. You see two weapons getting out to be shared, so or at least one. Star Fox is actually go for the MP7, so that's gonna be good too. I think that can be used great if he pushes up quickly and stays inside the buildings. Should be great to shred. But I mean, it's 4-4 now. That's again, as I mentioned, it maybe a couple games that I'd feel good about it, but it's now tie, and Horizon's been able to get 3 rounds in a row, and we'll see if they can make this a 4th round in a row, which 1-1 going down. They look like they're going to be sliding over to B. It's going to be a lot of stuff going on. 1 going down, make that 2 and 3. And it's all up to Sid now to get into this bomb site, in which he does, but slowly falls to the ground and dies. And so that's going to be another one on Horizon. That's 4 in a row that they've been able to take back. And now into the lead, and then slide to the other side of the map.
Yeah, Saints, they're just having a repeat of yesterday, and this is not what they want to happen, right? Like, they were looking really good, like, honestly, 4-1 up, flying ahead, especially on that CD side of stuff, but now they find themselves on the T side, on a 1-round deficit, nevertheless, and with Rust being quite CD-sided, this is just going to be hard for Saints, like, especially with them losing the last 4 rounds. This is what we talked about, the mental, like, when you even though the scoreline's pretty much equal, when you lose 4 in a row, it definitely feels like it's not equal. So, I mean, Saints, if they actually want to take the 3rd, they have to start here, Every single map is important, and they're definitely looking to do something here, but Envy, he's going to be stuck in the corner, hugging the wall, does get 1 and almost a double, but again, those nades are so deadly, especially when there's many people grouped up together. You can deal like 200 HP damage on a team, even 300 HP if you time and throw your nade correctly. So far what we've seen, the nades are just absolutely insane. I mean, Star Foxy, he doesn't have a nade, but he does have some intel about the whereabouts of the Horizon players. Now, Saints are only 2 of them alive, so both of them probably have to get a kill first, and then we can start talking about the clutch. You know, then they're only have equaled the situation here. But with a minute to work with, I think it's possible. Like, there's 2 players on A, 2 on B. Now, the rotations from Horizon are slowly being made over, or at least Reason was considering it. But I think if Saints are able to open up the A bomb side, then, you know, they have a chance. And the funny thing is, Horizon are playing on retake, which I don't think is really that smart in the 2v4. You really don't want to let the team, like, even plant the bomb, because that's extra cash. But, you know, that's what they've opted for, so can't really argue with that. Gentleman, he's so aggressive, he just pushes in four players there, goes down, and so the bomb isn't even planted. Maybe, you know, that was Horizon's plan all along. Either way, they get the round on the board, so yeah, good start for the CD side.
Yeah, unfortunately, they just weren't able to get in there close enough and be able to get the bomb planted. But honestly, that push up was probably really bit of a terrible idea. I mean, of course, he's not going to know when the rotation was coming, but even so, he knew that there was going to be 2. If he popped a corner, he knew there could be at least 2. And when you're talking in pistol sakes, probably shouldn't try that anyways. I mean, even if you are good at it, but to know that they still had 2 other players still alive is probably not the best idea. And Russell coming in here, getting a nice double 2-piece. Envy for another one. Bomb did go down. And now we're on for the chase. Sid is running a marathon. Even though I don't know why necessarily. I mean, he doesn't have anything really to save, but he does live. He does live.
Maybe he just wanted to, you know, live to tell the tale. But yeah, Saints, I mean, that's not good. I feel like, especially in that situation, Sid has to at least go and see if he can retrieve any weapons, if he can put any dent in the economy of Horizon, because Horizon are 3 rounds away from victory, and Saints haven't won a single round in 6 rounds. So it's not looking good. They're on the T side as well. It's just not looking good for Saints. So, you know, I think it's very needed for them to at least do something here, you know, at least attack, at least rush in, do something that we haven't seen before, that Horizon hasn't seen before, because it seems like so far, for any attempt that Saints have, Horizon have an anti-strat, so they are, I don't think this is what you normally see how teams play, kind of how they hold away players on their bomb side. They're playing it very passively, almost letting Saints plant, or, you know, do their business on a site, and then going in for the retake. So, I mean, it did work for them in a pistol round, but with them being smoked off, at least Saints get the bomb plant down. Now it's a 5v5, and we saw on the other side of things when Horizon were on that A site and they planted, they pretty much just could stay heaven. Oh, but okay, never mind. Horizon are simply better, just out-aiming everyone in seconds there. Exice finishes off Inverness, so now only Deserve left alive, and that's just too big of a task for him. So Horizon somehow 5v5 turned into a 4v0. They take the 8th here, and again, don't want to cast any predictions, or should I say curses, but this just looks like Horizon's game, at least this first map.
Yeah, I would definitely be betting on that. I mean, Horizon has just locked it in. They have taken, what, 7 in a row at this point? Saints has not really been able to do anything to really lock anything in. And even when they had all AKs against a bunch of MP7s, guess what? You see a triple kill, or 3 in a row coming in, and they're able to take those weapons and use them against them. And there we go. Horizon gets the defuse. Everybody goes down, and they rack up another point. Saints really needs to do something here. They've got to be able to take out, I don't know, 2 at least without dying at all, just to have 5v3. At that point, a 5v3 should, I say should, be doable. I mean, because right now Horizon's ability to aim and their ability to continuously take people out is really what's taking Saints down and giving them the hardest time. So if they can kind of isolate 2 or 3 and get down 1, and then take out another one, right now they're doing good. They've already got 1. Nobody's dead yet. They just got to get 1 more, and I think that they'll be really, really solid to be able to take this round at least. There we go from Sid. Coming in. Can we see another one? We are seeing Deserve push up. Probably not a good idea to go for the second one, but he does. He tries, but unfortunately doesn't connect. It's still a 2 to 4. That's still the same kind of ratio. And I think that this might be a good place for Saints to bring back another round. But Necro has something to say about that. Envy does go down, leaving Necro all by himself, and that's going to be Gentleman to show us how it's done. And to get another round onto the board for Saints. But, you know, no small feat. They just need to do that again. And do the isolation, take them out, and slowly be able to get into the bomb site. They don't need to rush too far.
Yeah, I mean, after losing 7 rounds in a row, this almost feels like a consolidation prize. Like Saints, yeah, it's good that they get around, but I mean, they need 5 more. And so far, Horizon have looked really dominant, so it's gonna take a while for us to, you know, actually start considering this a comeback. But, you know, nevertheless, they find their first. That's definitely good. But they are really pushing up towards that A side of things. Horizon are also switching up their defense. So far, they played A side really passively, you know, as we saw in 2 rounds ago, I believe they pretty much let them plant and then retake it in a 5v5. But now, seems like they're going for the aggressive approach. It's smart. It's definitely smart. Because, especially on the T side of things, normally you only start getting a lot of rounds once you actually approach the end stages, you know, of the half. Because the IGL has, on the T side, has figured out where and how the CD players play. And so you can, you know, come up with a kind of accurate anti-strat. So it's smart to actually switch up your defense. But what is not smart is just pushing like that. But Inverness, somehow he does get the kill. He is so aggressive there, but he gets a much needed kill. Okay, but Carousel straight back with a double. I thought Carousel was just dead in the water there, but somehow he is able to recover, get the frag. And Horizon are very, very fine-tuned and aware that Saints are actually going towards A. So even though Saints are executing, Horizon are right there. 3 of them, in fact, are looking to get any frags, and Saints aren't even committing yet. So we'll see kind of how that works out. That could really work to their detriment, or, you know, to their benefit. But Deserve, he's looking to backstab, almost catches one off guard, is able to find a kill on Reason. So now equalizing this scoreboard once again, 3v3. Deserve looking to do some more damage here, but again, Horizon playing this A side very passively, again allowing them on the site. And I'm not quite sure I like it, because yeah, they know it. They know that they're close. Like, they don't expect Horizon to just not be there completely. They expect them to be, you know, on the other side of this metal wall. So they get naded, they get flashed, and they get ultimately killed by Sid. Envy is able to do refrag on Deserve. Now 2v2. Exice is so close, but not able to connect the frag. What?
That was so huge, where Sid was able to just literally look down to the ground, save his head. I guess he thought he killed him or something, and then he decides to look up. Gets the kill, but then decides to stand up and kill him. I don't know. I don't know what he was thinking at that moment. Like I said, I think he just thought he had killed him. And we get to see this in real time. Look, he's looking like, oh, nope. No, yeah, you killed me. Don't worry about that. Oh, surprise! Wow.
First bullet accuracy in the head as well. Yeah, that was huge from Sid. Honestly, I think like whoever was on the other side just couldn't connect his bullets, because Sid was on a very tight angle. Like, pretty much only his head was exposed, and he was like moving around to make it even harder. So honestly, I think just the aim wasn't there, or, you know, the stress kind of took over. But either way, Saints, I mean, they've gotten 2 in a row now, and that's very good. But okay, Exice, yeah, he's just tapping heads. I mean, it doesn't matter if he sees, doesn't matter if he's blind. Somehow he's still able to find a frag, and even though the refrag does come in, the bomb plant is going to go down. So Saints looking very, very dominant in these last couple of rounds.
Yeah, they're doing good. They're bringing it back, which is great. You know, it wasn't looking too good, you know, but right now it's a 4v4, and now it's up to Horizon to hop into this bomb site. And where everybody's already going to be hanging out. And there we go, gentlemen, getting the nice little burst and Deserve for a 2-piece to end it. Beautiful. That's going to be Saints racking it up another point on the board. Now they're only 1 away. It's looking pretty good. You know what? I'm going to say it's going to look pretty terrible, because they're going to probably... I don't want to do any curses or anything on them. But so far, not bad. Not bad at all.
See, the last time one of us said, I don't want to do any curses, I don't want to make any predictions, it was 4-8. The score was 4-8. And at that point, Saints had lost 7 rounds in a row. And obviously, you know, as soon as I said that, they just completely change everything, get 3 in a row, and now make a valid case for making the comeback here. Yeah, amazing, absolutely amazing.
Yeah, now they're just taking, they're doing it, they're taking it. Inverness just going against Envy, taking him down. Headshots going. Oh, and through the smoke, Deserve getting a nice quick headshot and retreating. Looking good. Bomb site looks open, kind of giving the information. Although we do see two rotating over. We have one hanging out, ready to go, but smoked off. Watch it. Star Fox has got to watch out for those bullets, although he knows exactly where to go, making him retreat down. Bomb is planted. Grenade coming in, unfortunately, does not connect to the little window he wanted to go through, but it did kind of send a signal that, hey, probably shouldn't. Zeiss, the one here hanging out with the Deagle, and which I'm not sure how well that's going to work with Star Foxy holding up sniper perch up there, up in the heaven space. I mean, I don't know. He does have the better angle.
Yeah, I think they'll just make the choice to save here because it's a 3v5. There's literally 5 or 10 seconds left on the bomb. But Zeiss, he is able to do that and might actually even retrieve a weapon if he gets away, which he does. So that's, I mean, it's not good in terms of rounds, but at least it's good in terms of your economy, right? Like, at least you get that weapon retrieved, at least you can bring it over to the next round. It's an AK nevertheless, which, I mean, many players prefer more than the CD side counterpart, that being them 4. So, you know, it's definitely a good start, but not really the best ending to this game in terms of what Horizon were expecting. I mean, they were literally up 8-4, but what we actually see a lot of times is the team that calls a tactical pause somehow find their strength and their stride again and are able to actually win out the game. We've seen that many times, so I think, yeah, it's about time to call that tactical pause. Probably should have even been around earlier, but I mean, again, I'm not the IGL. And honestly, I'd say Saints are just performing very, very well on the T side of things. Like, Horizon are, I mean, again, maybe some questionable decisions about the A side defense. Why are they playing it so passively? But at the end of the day, it's not that Horizon are really underperforming here. It's more about Saints just playing absolutely insane in these last couple of rounds. And, well, I hope that tactical pause does something, because otherwise Horizon are looking at a heartbreak and a half here.
Yeah, they are. I mean, this is going to be that turning point. If Saints can break them again, I think this might spell terrible things for Horizon. I'm going to be vague because, again, I don't want to do anything terrible and say the wrong thing. But this is definitely one of the biggest times where they really need to get this done. And what's getting done is Gentleman getting a 2-piece. So we do see a recovery with a grenade, but Necro, he's got himself a nice double headshot. Now this is where Deserve needs to do his thing and be able to get 1, 2, ow, and 3. Almost racking himself up. He's 1 away from 20 in this game. He is on fire. And so he's doing absolute work. And just look at this. Perfect. Does get from the behind. Oh, that's Gentleman. Here we go. Reset. Deserve. Back of the head. Quick flick. Back to the close to the head, but not necessarily the head. And then Doom, another head. All the domes getting picked off. And now Saints are in a good position. It is a half-ish. So I don't know, 75, 80% buy for Horizon. And Saints is just fully decked. All they have to do is one more time. And they are looking fabulous at doing it.
I have no idea how Saints have mustered up these rounds, but I mean, they just look so flawless, especially that last one. Individual skill through the roof, team play through the roof, you know, finding these openings at the perfect time, figuring out, especially as the IGL, do you want to hit A, do you want to hit B, or where do you want to send your players, how do you want to approach the site? Just absolutely everything executed perfectly. I mean, it shows in the score. So Saints are up to 9. Now they are the one who are in a 5-round win streak, so just a game of momentum this has been, and Inverness, he is able to find Envy. So once again, Horizon find themselves in a position they do not want to find themselves in. Reason getting smoked off as well. Nades flying in, flashes flying in. There's just not much they can do in this retake. Saints are going to play this so slowly. I think they're just not going to give Horizon any chance to come back into this, right? Like, they're just going to hold their angles, only peek when they hear the bomb being defused. Maybe one player taking the aggressive peek, but at the end of the day,
what? The timing on that.
Wait, what?
He was just waiting.
Absolutely insane, Gentleman. finished off Reason as well, and so now it's all left down to Necro, and he goes down as well, and Vernus takes him down.
No way.
That was an absolutely insane way how to end off the game. Did you see that? Did you see that? That it almost looked too good there. That was absolutely crazy. Just like getting smoked off, then this guy just waits for like 2-3 seconds, and then as soon as he starts shooting, the first or second bullet is headshot. Absolutely insane. But I mean, well deserved to Saints. They looked like the superior team, at least in this kind of final third of the map.
That was horrendously unexpected. Like nobody, once Horizon hit A, was like, oh yeah, Saints can absolutely come back. No, they were just absolutely not expecting that, and neither were we. I mean, it was a hard road, and it's totally possible, and we like to keep every possibility open. But the likelihood is what really gets us. And the fact that they were losing 8 rounds in a row, and then they were able to literally take every single round after that was just the big brain play. And I love that they were able to do that, because yesterday they just were not able to connect with that. They were not able to lose those rounds, especially that many in a row, and then be able to come back. It just didn't happen yesterday. And so I love that they found the courage and the ability to bring it back, calm down, and it looks like they did it perfectly, and they were able to just completely wipe it out here at the end. Just horrendously unexpected. You see here with these recaps, you see that number at the top for Horizon keep climbing and keep climbing, but once we hit 8, it starts to change. And Deserve, honestly, is right there. He's at 10 kills, and he is just going to keep going. He was at 10 at the beginning, and he was the one who kind of really started that, and he was able to get 10 more kills through those 5 rounds. And so that just really, he was able to turn up right there, getting that 2-piece. You see him do it multiple times. So he was such a huge power play, especially right here at this next clip, taking out 3 people back to back to back. And
yeah, that was the
2 headshots.
Play of the game.
That's what turned it for me.
Yeah. After seeing that, I was like, all right, I know which team is gonna win. I love how it was 4-8, and then I said not gonna cast any predictions, and as soon as I said that, the Horizon were just not able to find even a single round. But it is what it is. I'm sorry, Horizon fans.
They felt your intentions. You didn't have to say.
Yes, yes. I put it out in the universe. It is what it is. Won't cast any predictions anymore. But yeah, that was as you said, Deserve just had an absolutely insane second half there. Like at 4-8, he was doing decent. In 12 rounds, getting your 10 kills. That's normal. That's good. But then he just, as you said, he just kept going every single round. He was able to find at least one, most of the times 2 or even 3, that just completely switched the outcome of the game. Just shows like when one of these players shows up big time, when it's like one of these players' games, it's very hard to find counters to that. So I mean, props to Saints. They were simply the better team in this, at least in this matchup. We'll see how that goes, and once you actually get to the second map of things, which is Zone 9, I believe. But yeah, crazy to see that Saints are able to find their strength and their courage, especially against a team like Horizon. I mean, they were undefeated in the group stage. I believe they even didn't lose a single map in the group stage. They did. They lost like 1 out of 6. So they were absolutely insane there. But seems like probably yesterday's loss, especially with how close it was, only 1 round separating them from going to the finals or fighting for 3rd place, as just like kind of piled on to their kind of mental baggage. And now losing the first map as well, it's gonna take a lot. I feel like it's gonna take a lot for Horizon to find themselves again and to find that that motivation to keep going here, because yeah, just things not going their way on very close odds, on very close occasions. They almost win but they don't, and that just screws some mental screws loose. So we'll see if they're able to actually find their passion again and win the second map to at least take us to the 3rd one, which is Sandstone, which I want to see. So yeah, probably not going to see it because I want to see it. That's how I was going to say,
you're over here like, come on guys, you need to get it together because I need to see Sandstone. But honestly, going into Zone 9, this is the tournament favorite at this point. It is the #1 map that's been played. So Horizon having a good shot to really shake this one off, even though, as I mentioned, Stats don't mean anything. You get shown up every single time, which I literally just did because technically Horizon should have taken this one, but you see what happened. But, as this being the historical best and kind of the overall favorite, Horizon being the theoretical higher team and where we are, this should be the map for Horizon to be able to take here on Zone 9. And we're going to find out very, very soon, because here is round number 1. Going straight into it, and let's find out if Horizon can bring this back, or are we going to see a 2-0 and Horizon being knocked down to 4th place, being the theoretical number 1 champions of 2022.
I mean, 3v3 now. Saints are definitely looking to knock out the champions. Like, why would they not? That would cause an upset. That would, like, just overall, put a dent, put their name out even more in the community. Like, they beat Horizon 2-0. That's something that nobody has done yet, at least not in this tournament. So, I mean, they're looking good, at least in terms of, keeping that dream alive. Saints, they do plant the bomb. 3v3 now. Necro, oh, that's a very smart hold, but he's getting overwhelmed. They're playing it so well. Saints so smartly just playing together, refragging. As soon as Star Foxy gets low, he kind of takes cover and let his teammate, control the pace. The nade does come in, and they're just going straight for the fuse, but Deserve does peak. Very big round from Deserve. He's just showing up such in a huge way here, and the plants coming in. Oh, Saints are playing it so smartly. They're just jumping there, just making it as hard as possible for Horizon to find any frags there. I mean, he's holding his headshot crosshair level, but then he has to kind of move it over to check where the guy's jumping, and they're jumping again when they're peeking. It's just crazy, and it's very hard for Horizon to do anything. So Deserve together with his teammates, but I mean mainly Deserve in this round, getting a double, but a very crucial double. Get the first on board for the C side, and T side is quite hard to play on Zone 9. In my opinion, the CD side is definitely a CD-sided map, so the fact that Saints are able to get one, that being the first round, will probably translate into them looking very good on the side switch.
Yeah, and as of right now, it looks like it's just going to be an absolute slaughterfest. We do see 3 on one side, 2 on the other, but currently Saints is looking a lot better, and they have the better weaponry. And they're going to pop the corner, and here we go. Got to see 2 going down, although, surprise, Star Fox got that with a grenade. I really thought that was a double for Inverness any day of the week. But that's going to be 2 on the board quite quickly. The good/bad news is they did lose 2 players on that, but that does allow them to buy up. See, it does have an AK, and just going to pull out a nice little MP5. So, I mean, it's not going to be too bad or too good. With those FALs, like you said, the FAL is absolutely not that bad. I'm sure that it's not the favorite to everybody, but honestly, it does really good. Now, a fully decked out Horizon team, at least when it comes to weaponry, we'll have to find out how that goes. But wait a minute, we're already seeing a tactical pause from Saints?
I think they just don't want to blow their lead. They just don't want to make any mistake that will kind of, make a repeat of yesterday. So they're probably just, calming each other down. They're like, guys, we're 8 rounds away from blowing out Horizon completely, from taking the 3rd place. Let's just calm down a little bit. Let's not try to ride our emotions here. Let's try to kind of just approach it, slowly, approach it rationally. Just slowly do this, do that. Focus on getting the rounds. We're 8 away. We're literally 8 away. So, I mean, that's pretty smart by Horizon. It is interesting that they're literally calling it as their 3rd round. That's not something you usually see. Timeouts getting called that quickly. But that being the first rifle round, maybe they just want to go over some rifle strats. It seems like they are just going to push the B bomb side, and even though pretty much everyone on Horizon's side is grouped up towards it, they're not really checking it. They're just playing it very passively, and we saw them playing bomb sites very passively on Rust as well, especially that A bomb site, and that just didn't prove out to be a good strategy. That actually proved out to be a terrible strategy. So I feel like Horizon need to approach these bomb sites a bit more aggressively. I mean, they are good on retakes, don't get me wrong, especially with Carousel and Envy doing that. Yeah, well, that's good. That's definitely good. But again, the bomb was planted, so at least Saints get some money. And I mean, the round is still not over. Inverness, he could pre-fire this, he could get some frags. Now, it's actually Sid who's able to find one, but Horizon do shut it out. So, good start for them. They probably went over some strategies in the tactical timeout as well.
Yeah, they probably did. And I tell you what, though, what really probably calls for that tactical pause, though, right there is, at that point, that would be their 8th round that they have won from the last match to this one. So that's definitely a good time to, rein it back in. They've had so many rounds in a row. And again, they didn't have the best buys as far as, they still had some of the FALs. I mean, maybe that's part of it. Although Sid did get pre-fired pretty hard on the last one, so that's just not really a whole lot you can do with that. But now that they're fully bought up, they got the AKs in hand. Sid on the other, still rocking the SMG. This should be a little bit better, though they're piled up pretty good. A was probably where they needed to go, but maybe not. Here we go for some heads being popped, 2 on either side. Make that 3, at least for 1 for Gentleman going down. So it's now to a 2-2. Horizon, but it's really a 1v2 because we still got Reason. He's coming all the way around. He's trying to do it. He's got the information finally that he has been seen. Star Foxy trying to keep everything down. Same for Sid. And Caruso trying to really get some pre-fires, but he really, at this point, he's just giving his position away. But I guess that's not too bad when Reason comes from the side, takes out Sid. Now it's 1-2, 1-1, and 1-0. Star Foxy clutching that up pretty hard and getting that round on the board for him. So even though they lost 1, they're now still up by 2. Looking pretty nice.
That was such a smart play coming in from Star Foxy. Look how he picks his angle, right? He knows where both players are, and so he rotates up over towards that the second floor of B site, and I mean, that's just such good angle isolation. That is the way how you isolate 1v1 gun duels. He's holding a single angle there. He can only be exposed from that angle. He gets a frag because it's an off angle, and then as soon as he does that, he peeks and gets a second player because, again, he knows locations of both players, and he probably even knows that the other player is low, so that was such a good play there. Very good, just positioning everything up to the T there. And Saints, they get their 3rd. And I think if they get this round, they completely break Horizon's economy. Gentleman's making good case for it. Flash, doesn't matter, takes down Necro. Does re-peek, does spot the player, gets some more damage in. Gentleman, he just can't be stopped in this round. And Inverness finishes it off with Gentleman started. Caruso goes down as well. And what is that?
Oh, no.
He's just doing parkour. He's doing everything here. Just jumping around, to pretty much flicking just everything that you would ask for in a teammate, in a good player. He does. And so Envy, he not even able to get Sid. I thought that was Envy's kill any day, but Saints are just looking so sharp right now. They're playing together. They're very good individually. There's just not anything that Horizon can do about it. And I mean, again, on the first map things, the comeback started when it was 4-1, but look at this. Gentleman just peeks, gets Reason, then he is flash, keeps spamming, gets a flashed kill. I'm not sure how he actually didn't go down there. And then just does some parkour, 180 flick, connects the head. And yeah, this just completely breaks Horizon's economy. So we're potentially looking at Saints at 5. This absolutely insane scenes here against the favorites of the tournament, at least in terms of the group stage standings as well. Saints, they're looking to go big here.
Yeah, this is just really, really odd. I mean, the fact that they were doing so well yesterday, and the fact that now, all of a sudden, Horizon just can't seem to get these rounds. And this is just constantly in a row, back and forth. But you never know. These pistols are very deadly. It's less for them to deal with. But looks like Star Fox is going to show exactly how it's done. Although he better watch his back. Oh, but just enough to turn the corner. Zeiss coming up. His position has been given by the shots that he's been fired. But Bomb is going to make it in. It's 3v3. They have recovered some weapons. So that's going to be good, at least for the side of Horizon. But is that good enough? I mean, we're seeing plenty of shenanigans come through. And, well, 2-3 now. Now it's 2 rifles versus 3 rifles. And they're going to opt to save those rifles and all the equipment that they have in their pockets, because everything counts at this point. So maybe get some exits, at least, post up to maybe be able to do that. But I don't think that they're really going to be able to do much here. They're going to have to let them have it. And it's better to have the weaponry than to try and potentially fail at this point with the deficit that they're currently at.
Yeah, they have to save, but with only 3 rounds left in this before the side switch, Horizon really haven't done anything here. I mean, honestly, like, they've gotten, that 1 round, which wasn't even, like, that dominant of a round, and after that, Saints have pretty much dominated everything since that. I mean, sure, we had that 1v2 that Saints did clutch, But again, they just look like the better team here, and I think Horizon's kind of team morale and mentality is just completely broken here, right? Like they came into the semifinals, into the finals, looking to win it all, and I feel like after winning that first game and understanding that it's not possible to win it all, for them it's like all or nothing, right? Like okay, so if we can't win it, it's just less motivation for us to try. But on the other side of things, like Saints, they probably came into the finals expecting to either get beaten out or not make it to the finals. So the fact that they are fighting for that third place means a lot more for them, I feel like. And so Caruso is able to nade down Sid, so the retake is coming in, but Saints are doing such a good job with their utility in this round as well. Like they're smoking everything off. Look at this gentleman creating new angles, smoking players off, throwing flashes, just doing everything to tick time off of that bomb. And now he has taken a very good positioning there. Actually, one of the players might be sitting in the smoke there. It's going to be very interesting to see what Deserve does there. He does find Reason, and he is taken down, but there's just so little time on the clock. The defuse is coming in. Oh, and they might actually be able to defuse. Although, somehow he connects the frag, so now there is time. Okay, never mind. There actually is time. Horizon get their second, but that was such a solid attempt from Saints. Doing everything until the last second there, until the last player goes down, just doing everything that's in their power to actually keep it competitive.
Yeah, and I do agree with you. That maybe not necessarily they were primed for being able to take this, and obviously, they have a lot more to fight for. I mean, by all means, Saints, on the other hand, is definitely one of the oldest teams and one of the biggest communities. But obviously, we've seen Winstrike being able to do what they do, and same for Horizon to be able to make it this far. And it's definitely not going to be an easy time to be able to take the number one, at least for the one we're going to be able to see here later. But like I said, it's definitely a bigger thing to be able to fight for third place and at least get bronze for third for this minor, and be able to work their way up. Because just because you're the oldest community or the oldest in general doesn't mean that you're automatically the best, or that you automatically get extra points because of that. So it's all about the work and dedication, and there are times players, obviously new and old, that are better than you. It's hard to really kind of dignify who is the best overall, but nonetheless, they're definitely showcasing their skills and abilities. And I mean, honestly, third place is still better than not really placing at all, or 6th, 7th, or 8th. So the fact that they're here to win, they're here to fight. They're currently up by 3, and it's about to be 4. It's looking pretty good for Saints to being able to, again, showcase their placement and where they would like to be, and where they're definitely wanting everybody to be able to see their skills here in Standoff 2.
This is the final round, and so far, okay, never mind. I wanted to say a sentence that is 100% forbidden for now on, because it was a sentence that would predict the future, which I will not do anymore. As a
Don't
caster,
do that. What happens when we start making predictions?
Yeah, I remember what happened on the first map. So as a caster, I have taken the vow of silence about the future from now on. But Horizon, they're looking to take this round, right? Like that would definitely help them going into the side switch, and they're just gonna push up. But Star Fox and Deserve, they're simply faster. They're simply better. They take down Reason, Caruso, and so it's a 3v4 turn 2v4. And Saints looking so dominant. Zeiss not even able to get any damage in there, but actually get naded down. Perfect nade usage again coming in from Saints. They're just doing everything. They really do seem like Saints. Like whatever they do, it's almost like the right choice every single time. And so it is a 2v3, but Zeiss is very low. Necro's position is known as well. He is trying to shoot there. Does get the nade frag, so at least it's a refrag, but look how far Zeiss is. I'm not actually, this is like a mistake, I'd say, from Zeiss. I mean, this is the last round, so he has to go for it. There's really no reason for him to save, but being that far away, it was really more of a 2-1v3 situation, right? Like where Reason pushes in first, he goes down, and then the same, yeah, just interesting is the word I'm going to use here. But nevertheless, Saints with 1 map advantage already going to a huge lead as we head into the second half of the map.
Yep, going into the second half. Let's see hold this lead. I mean, and look at this, 7-2. If this is so critical right now. If Horizon wants to stay in this, they have absolutely have to take this pistol round. Like, they have to do that. Because if they don't, it's going to be match point for Saints, and that's not looking good. Because even if they take that round, that match point, because, you know, obviously they may still have SMG. What they have to do is mess up one time and let Deserve just take all their faces. It's inevitable to happen. But we'll see how it, you know, we're still looking good. It's in favor of Horizon right now. Bomb is planted, so extra cash. Great. But now it's time for the retake. Can Saints do it? 3-4? Consider what we've seen, probably. But right now, they need to make sure they don't get caught from behind. Grenade coming in. Uh-oh. It's now down to a 1v3. What just happened? Here he comes. It's all up to Necro with basically one bullet to stave his face, and that's just not going to happen. Defuse comes in. Everybody goes down. Saints, another one up to 8.
They're 2 away. They're 2 away from doing the best that they can with what they were given, right? Like, sure, it's hard to go against Winstrike. Like, it's just hard. Sorry, to go against STREETEIGHT. Like, it's sometimes hard to get to the finals, but it's great to see that, you know, when they're not able to get to the finals, they're still able to find their fighting spirit, and you just keep pillaging on. So, yeah, they are very, very close here from actually shutting out Horizon completely. That first map, definitely not what you want to see if you're a Horizon fan. I mean, Horizon were up 8-4 on the first map, and then somehow Saints, they just get every single round after that. They like Horizon blow a 4-round lead, and Saints just get 6 in a row. So from that on, we haven't really seen anything coming in from Horizon, and I wouldn't even say that Saints are playing insane. Like, sure, they are playing good, but honestly, on the first map, it seemed like, you know, Saints were just playing better. Here, it just seems like Horizon are not really doing much to actually showcase us why they maybe should take the 3rd place. Now, obviously, you know, they somehow do find these kills, so my statement might get changed a little bit, but at the same time, it's a 2v3, Necro is low, and even with that Sid pre-fire there, Inverness is still in a good position to clutch. It's technically a 1v1. Now he retrieves the superior FAL as well. Necro, with how low he is, it's just going to be hard for Horizon to make sure that they actually win this round. Now, the B bomb site is taken, but seems like Inverness is aware of that fact. And actually, the bomb is so far away, it's almost at spawn, so this gun duel will go down before he even makes it on site, because Inverness, he's just going to keep pushing. He might have actually heard the player, so he might actually isolate it. And see, this is what I'm talking about. Necro, he's just on literally 1 HP here. He might actually go A. They're just so far away. I feel like both players are just playing mind games here. Are they going to go A? Is he going to go B? It really is, like, hard to decide, especially in these 1v1 situations. But time is ticking low, so Inverness is at an advantage here. Necro is making his way towards the B side of things. Now, not Nade might actually do some damage. It does not. Ooh, but Inverness, he rotates down here. He expects Necro to be somewhere else, so the bomb is going to go down. And Inverness, yeah, he just makes his move at the wrong second. I think he might have thought that that nade will make Necro, you know, think or, you know, expect him on B and therefore go A, but I feel like with the amount of time that was remaining, it was just smarter for Necro to go for the aggressive play and actually plant it. So Inverness is pushing up, he has the FAL, and he only needs to connect 1 bullet here, 1 bullet to actually win it. Ooh, but Necro is playing it smart. He spotted, he heard it. He doesn't want to yet commit because he knows how low he is. Now Inverness, he's just gonna fake it, and Necro, this is so close. They're trying to find each other. They just haven't spotted each other yet. What is going on? No time as well. Inverness finally takes Necro down, but is there enough time? He is defusing, but Necro actually clutches it out. Just not enough time to actually get the defuse.
Wow.
Oh man, what a play. What a play by Necro. I mean, that wasn't the smartest thing to do in that 1v2. I feel like, you know, getting that bomb site open is just not smart to let the CD player isolate his gun duels there. So even though they get the bomb site open, then one of them gets taken down, Necro is still somehow able to finish it off with only a deagle and like 10 HP to his name. So props to Necro, but again, Horizon are 7 rounds away from even considering if they can win. Like, they still need to win this game and the 3rd map. So I feel like even with Saints being eco, they still have a very good chance of, you know, taking this in 2.
Oh, yeah. Saints are just going to try and really just disrupt them as much as possible. I mean, the more that they can be a nuisance is better. You know, get them to throw their equipment, get them to waste more ammunition. You know, it's just for them at this point. Save a little extra cash. You know, they probably could have done something halfway decent this time around, but I think they're going to just have a good time. They still have a decent lead, but they just got to readjust, bring themselves back, be a little humble. Like, yeah, they're only 2 rounds away, but they just got to get through this pistol round as much as they can. Just give as much annoyance as I'll say. You know, just annoy them as much as possible. Do stuff like that. Sir Foxy, able to actually beat a long range engagement with his pistol. And he was gonna just hang out under the stairs. He's gonna do a little bit of a troll action. He's gonna go for the weapon, and it looks like it should be safe for him to grab, which he does retrieve the FAL. And Inverness trying to again just be the annoyance you know he can be, and just try to get his attention. They know that something's happening. Here comes the grenade. It's gonna blow up just basically in his face. And we're gonna see some going down on either side. And it looks like it's just gonna be up to a 1v2 Star Foxy. Not sure if the pistol was probably the best idea. If maybe he could have taken the assault rifle first, but it is what it is. They still caused massive damage and taken out 3 out of the 5 on the side of Horizon. So honestly, for a pistol and the fact they were only 1 bullet away on either side, they almost had that.
Yeah, that was a very, very solid attempt. I mean, if they lost this one, that would be just a disgusting way to go out if you're Horizon, right? Like, losing against pistols,
Yeah.
and probably losing the next one as well. That's not how you want to go out. So, props to Horizon for at least, you know, keeping it competitive in these last couple of rounds. But again, you know, the opponents were on pistols and they almost go down. Like, look at the HP situation. I don't, like, both of those players who were staying alive there, I think they had like 15 HP combined. So, yeah, I mean, Horizon, they just have so much to do here. And so, well, they do call out the timeout, the tactical pause. So, that's going to be something. You know, they're going to probably go over their strategy, just trying to take it 1 round at a time. Because if you look at the odds, well, they're definitely not looking good. But at the same time, you can't really look at the odds if you're in these kind of situations. You know, when there's like a 20% chance that you'll make it out alive, you don't want to look at the odds and kind of, you know, tilt you, just instill fear in your head. You just want to take it, you know, 1 second, 1 round at a time. And I mean, that's exactly what Horizon are looking to do. So they are going to push towards that B side of things. Going to throw the nade, going to just try to get a clean B side opening. I mean, why not? Reason he's just going to entry frag. Flash is coming in. That's actually a good push. Let's see if they're able to eliminate this player on site. They're not aware of the position, so the bomb plant might actually even get your fuse there. But Saints just taking it slow. Sid is going to go down, and well, this is doable. This is definitely doable. Inverness, I'm not quite sure that I like that he waited so long there, because all players on T side have now evacuated the site, and now he has to be the one who, you know, looks for the frags. Now he has to push up, and especially with Horizon, you know, just taking frags left and right, it's gonna be very hard to actually find anyone. Now, Inverness does find one, but yeah, Reason just better, gets the double, a crucial double there. And Horizon, well, they're not looking good, but they're certainly looking better than, you know, a few rounds ago. So yeah, I mean, it's doable. It's definitely doable. I think Saints have to go either force buy or like semi-eco here as well. So technically, we're only looking at a 2-round deficit here on Horizon's side.
Yeah, and so Horizon coming back up a little bit. They're bringing it back, but they need to be able to keep the momentum on it. I mean, right now, honestly, that pistol round was so good. I'm still not going to count Saints out here. I mean, honestly, if they can just grab a couple rifles at this point, that grenade's going to be huge, potentially. Definitely not. So, I mean, if they can make some connections here, I think that's where it's going to be huge. But there is a connection made. Make that almost 2 connections. I mean, that's going to be big as far as the damage being dealt. They do have the Deagles up here, so they're going to try. Ooh, there it is. 2 of them going down. Can they steal the weapons? No, it looks like they maybe have cross sections there. But if they can pick that up, at least Inverness does. So it's a 1v3. It's not doable. We're going to have a little bit of a extra safe here. Looks like the bomb is going to go down. He's going to have to be ready. Ooh, this is going to be kind of big. Can he take Zeiss down? He's on the way. You can hear him. He's going for the push. Does take him out. And now going back in, using the smoke, covering himself constantly. I love that he's able to just basically keep himself covered. It's a good plays, and so if they can really go for the push here, they still will lose the round. But if he can get all of these kills, that's gonna be huge.
Yeah, bringing that AK into the next round is definitely good. That's at least improving the money situation on Saints by at least $3,000, or not, because somehow, I'm not quite sure I like that decision, but I mean, again, I'm not a player, so fair enough. He wanted to take the aggressive peek there, but he's just not able to find a frag, so that AK not being brought over. And honestly, I'm expecting a tactical timeout from Saints here any round now, because they've lost 4 in a row. Things are not looking as great as they were, and especially the fact that they're playing on the CD side of Zone 9 here makes me feel like they need to make some adjustments here, because it's just not working in these last couple of rounds. I mean, sure, they've lost 2 kind of eco rounds, but at the same time, like, just finish it off, guys. Like, if you're Saints, you just want to just keep doing on what you were doing and just get these last 2 rounds. It's like, not that it shouldn't be that complicated, but Horizon is definitely trying to make it so. And I mean, again, props to them. Most teams, when they're down 2-8, when they're 2 rounds away from elimination, nothing has really worked for them so far. I mean, most teams will just give up, but Horizon here, they're just somehow able to find their strength and their stride in these last couple of rounds. Reason taking down 1 as well, taking down Gentleman as well. So now the A bomb site is completely open for business. Saints might even have to, just save here. There's not really much that they can do. The bomb is going to be planted. 2 players are far away. Yep. Deserve is going to get pushed. Oh, but he is able to get Exise, so it's not out of the picture yet that they get the 9th here. But some utility, smokes coming in as well, and Envy's position is not known, so he should just get a freebie here in the back of the head. Now, Inverness is able to find Reason on the other side of the map, so still a 2v3. The problem is, the clock has ticked quite a bit, and this is just a hard angle to isolate. The defuse is coming in, Envy is going to peek. Now, Sid is going to refrag, but eventually go down, so... okay, 1 round away. We'll see if Saints call the tactical pause now or if they want to keep playing, but whichever they choose, they should really find their way back into this. Otherwise, that would just be a heartbreaking way to let the second map go and eventually, take us to the third one, which is going to be Sandstone, so I would be happy about that. But at the same time, Saints, they looked so promising. Just, if you want to win, find your way back into this. Really only 2 rounds.
Yeah, honestly, I think the last 2 here probably should have just exited and saved. Probably would have been the better idea, personally. I mean, the fact that, it was still a 2v3, totally doable, just based on the round where we are and what's been happening. Probably should have been the best bet, but obviously, they make their decisions in game, and things are crazy. Although what's crazy is Star Foxy being so squirrely and not Foxy and just coming in, get the kill and running away, although unfortunately getting taken out. But that's still just a huge thing, coming in, getting long-range pistols. And here we go with the Deagle. Gentleman coming from in the front, getting their attention. Potentially looks like one maybe coming close to coming up from behind, but maybe not. And so they're going to retreat into A. B is still kind of covered, at least by 1, which is going to be deserved. But if they go into A, it's definitely going to be a quick switch over. A lot of noise being made, so they may know what's coming down.
I mean, they just have to get around here. Otherwise, the scoreline is equal, and Horizon are going to be in a better driver's seat here, because the money is really not that good on the side of Saints, right? Like they have what, Deagles, FSs. I'm not even sure that if they lose this round and buy the next one, lose that one as well, I'm not even sure that they're going to be able to buy in the last round. So just so many tough choices to make here. If you're Saints, you just gotta win this round. And I mean, Deserve is looking to do that. Oh, he actually catches Reason off guard, but yeah, that FS is just not going to be superior against a fully armored rifle. And so Gentleman kind of the last line of defense here, which is actually Sid. He takes down 1, but Gentleman is left alive, but gets some damage in. Carousel, wait, this Carousel, look at the HPs, 1 bullet.
Ooh.
Oh, this is
doable.
Sid.
This is doable.
Just able to find 1 bullet, but they play it to perfection. Horizon, they just simply do not let Sid isolate any gun duels there, pushing in together, knowing that they're both low. It's smart, This is what you have to do if you're in that kind of situation. Always play together. Never let the player who's clutching isolate his gun duels. And so Horizon play it to perfection, get themselves to 8 here, and this might be Saints' last real buy, because if they lose this round, they might have to go on a force in the last round of play, potentially what could be the last round of play, and that's just not a situation where you want to find yourself in, especially when 6 rounds ago it was 8-2. Saints, you got to find an answer to this quickly, and so an answer they have found.
There it
Three
is.
kills raining in. Star Foxy with a double on the scoreboard, and I mean, Horizon, they've been good. They've definitely been good, but Saints, finally, they find, you know, an opener, and that earlier advantage that Saints had, it really just shows. So, yeah, we'll see how this one goes. I feel like Horizon might even consider a save call here, or at least Reason could. Crucial is on very good money, but it's really about, like, can you all buy in the next round? Not only can this one player buy, but they are just going to keep pushing. The bomb is down. They're getting naded. Gentleman just going to spam Reason through his smoke. Crucial, it's one. We've seen a 1v5 once, but I think this is far from being possible. I mean, especially with him being completely isolated here, and with 1 minute remaining on the clock, smoked off. I mean, I would like to see it, but I don't think we will.
No, I mean, he's going to give it his best shot, but he's got to take his time. Ooh, his information's been given. He's right there. He's got somebody to push up to him. I mean, a lot of damage being dealt, but I mean, at this point, it's going to be a pinch at some point. He's been caught from a couple different angles. He's trying to make his way in, but unfortunately drops down to serve, taking his head out of the equation. And so now that is up to 9-8. Saints looking really strong. They got plenty of cash. They're going to be a full buy all the way up. Now, a same for the side of Horizon. So this has to be another one of those smart plays. They have to be able to do the isolation and or just do what they just did and just blast out 3 at the exact same time and just all picking someone differently at the exact same time.
Yeah, Horizon, I mean, they have a lot going on here, right? Like, they have a pretty weird buy, an FAL. The utility is there, but I mean, it's not the best. And they're not even pushing yet. They don't want to overcommit. They don't want to, you know, just completely get blown out in this last round. So they're going to take it slow, which I think is smart. I think it's always smart, you know, when the tensions are high, to just take it slowly. Make sure that you actually clear out your angles, not just, you know, dumbly rush in. Sure, it can work sometimes, but I feel like if you lose that kind of round, you'll always consider that you should have went more slow. So Horizon are taking the slow approach. They do get some damage just by that utility. I mean, Gentleman is pretty much two-thirds of his HP are gone just because of a great nade. But I mean, on the other side of things, Zeiss Necro also takes some damage, so it's pretty much a damage, you know, equal trade here. And it's actually interesting to see that even though Horizon made a lot of noise on A initially, they're moving towards B. And I mean, Saints, they still kind of think and expect that it's going to be A or at least mid, because they have 3 players grouped up towards there. So Inverness, he'll have to go big here. Together with Sid, they have done some great things, but they need to do it once again. And especially in these crucial moments, every single damage point is just everything. Every single kill. Inverness looks away. Sid gets traded out. 1v4 for Inverness on the B bomb side. Deserve is able to find Necro, so at least a refrag coming in. But now they're getting smoked off. Gentleman just pushes through, but Star Foxy somehow able to refrag. This is so close with another 1v1 now. And that's Star Foxy taking Saints to a victory. That was so close there, so close. But somehow Star Foxy able to clutch a 1v2 at the end there with a just throws a nade on the dome there, you know, gets the final frag. And so congratulations, the underdogs, the team that you did not expect to win this.
Wow.
Nevertheless, in a 2-0 fashion, the best of 3, somehow they just do it and they make it seem almost effortless. Like, sure, Horizon made that little comeback there, but to do this against, again, statistically, potentially in the group stage, the best team, the team that went undefeated, the team that didn't concede a single map in the group stage, just get completely obliterated here. And I mean, fair enough. Saints are just playing on a different level in both of these games, but especially the Zone 9 one. Sure, they let those 6 rounds slip, but at the end of the day, they just proved themselves to be superior here. Great individually, great team play-wise, just everything on point today.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's a huge thing. Is we saw at least, you know, 3 of the 5 on Saints really showing out. They had 16 kills. I saw a double 16, and they were just really showing out. I mean, there were so many. I mean, they were going to. I mean, if there was a couple more rounds, easily 3 of them could have hit 20 kills. And so, being that they're individual skills, but as we see that their team play is so big, they enter at the same time from multiple angles, and that's a huge deal. But just unfortunately, it looks like today with Horizon, with the temperature that it is, the environment that they're in, something seemed off to where nobody was really, showing up. I mean, we could see plenty of kills, being done. They were still taking heads and taking names, but unfortunately, when it just came down to the last bit, everybody was, I would say, good as far as close together, but too close together. There wasn't anybody standing out to really be the catalyst to make that round happen. They were just doing all good. But unfortunately, when you have basically 3 of those catalysts on the other side, I mean, Star Foxy being the one right here at the end, ending in 19 kills, that's such a huge, huge thing. And again, being that catalyst and being like, yeah, we just finished that off. I got the last 2. Don't worry about it. It's a 1v2. I got it. And so just it's huge for that power play. And they are now single-handedly here in this first minor of the year being able to take out Horizon 2-0 like nobody has before. And Horizon just finalizing themselves as 4th place, and Saints being able to be 3rd place. And so they're going to get that extra cash. They're going to get the extra wins. Now, does Horizon need it? I don't know. It may it's the first one of the year. They got plenty more coming up later on this year that they can definitely bring that back and do the practicing. Maybe it could have been they were just broken from being taken out from Winstrike, and whatever they got is whatever they got. You never know as far as their mentality goes. They are some of the best, but it just seemed like today something was up, something was not going great, and ultimately resulted in 0 games being gotten. But guess what we have coming up next? It's going to be STREETEIGHT versus Winstrike for the finals. It's going to be our 1st and 2nd place matchings. Winstrike yesterday, man, they were so toe-to-toe. I've never seen such close games with Horizon and Winstrike. Now, STREETEIGHT actually was the one who actually was able to run ahead of Saints, and they actually were not nearly as close. So I don't know if that's good or bad. We see Saints today, but, versus what they were playing yesterday, it's hard to tell. But ultimately, we'll find out is Winstrike just going to be able to plow ahead like they were. And if they continue that same energy versus STREETEIGHT, I don't know how that's about to go. It could go either way.
Yeah, I mean, with the things, with the way how things have been going, it really seems that if Licorice made it to the finals, they would have won it all, because in every single one of these 3 matchups so far in the finals, the team that had less points in the group stage actually wins out. So, I mean, not to cast any predictions, but I'm expecting STREETEIGHT to put up at least a very good fight against Winstrike here. Now again, that won't really be coming just yet. We will go on a short pause. Again, we need to get refreshed. The players need to get in the server and everything. And you guys, go for some snacks, get something fun that you can watch the game. Show it to your friends or family, perhaps. I don't know. But anyhow, we will go on a pause, and we will be right back after the pause with the second game of the day, with the actual finals. I could not hype this more. It's what these 8 days have boiled down to. So yeah, we'll be back after the pause. Make sure that you tune in, and see you guys with the second game after the pause.
All right, guys, we are back. We got one more match. One more, not really one more. One more matchup. 3 more games potentially coming your way. It's going to be the finals. This will be the determiner who is the first and second place here in the first of the year Standoff 2 Minor. We have 2 of the best teams that have made it their way through all the way to the end, and that's going to be Winstrike and STREETEIGHT. And I know some of you may be expecting that, some of you may not be. If you guys are just tuning in, that's who we have. If you're not, you're hearing the names yet again, but that's who we're going to be playing. Now, we do still need to find out a few things of what we're going to be doing, such as the maps, but we'll get into that here shortly. But overall, yesterday's games, nuts. Winstrike versus Horizon, literally toe-to-toe, going down to some of the, I think all of them ended within 2 rounds of each other. We could have went either way, but ultimately, at the end, it was Winstrike to pull ahead on one single round, where Horizon should have went eco. They went kind of full buy, in which case that ruined it entirely for them. And then in which case they had to go fully broken at the end, and Winstrike was able to take it ahead. And STREETEIGHT, they basically, not fully, but pretty much almost cremated Saints. I mean, in the rounds that they won, they won really, really well. It wasn't a really close call. Saints still won one of those rounds, but it was still very much so sided STREETEIGHT on the ones that they won. So going into this, Winstrike to me looks the strongest as far as what we saw yesterday against Horizon, but in which case Saints did just 2-0 them. So I don't know if that was a good day, maybe that was a bad day, maybe they're both on bad days. I don't know. It looked so toe-to-toe with them. And STREETEIGHT has such a huge opportunity right now to do what they did yesterday. I mean, if they're getting a lead, they're going to hold the lead.
Yeah, I mean, STREETEIGHT, they definitely have the chance to kind of make the finals the craziest upsets that we've seen so far. Because again, all 3 final matches that we've seen so far, the team that was not expected to win, the team that in Group A and Group B had less points, was actually able to win it out. So I feel like, if we go with the kind of current theme of the tournament, then sure, I mean, why not STREETEIGHT? On the other side of things, they have to play Winstrike. So even, whatever psychic forces you want to take into account, whatever, it's still going to be a hard game. It's still going to be a hard best of 3, because Winstrike, there really isn't a more established name in the Standoff 2 community than Winstrike, right? They won the major, they won the LAN, they really are up there in terms of being really, really good at the game. So I feel like STREETEIGHT will definitely have to put on a fight. But we'll see what maps are into the picture, because I feel like Winstrike are definitely way better on some maps than others. And on the other side, on STREETEIGHT side, I'd say they're more equally kind of spread over all maps. It's not that one of their maps is insane, but it's also not that they perform really badly. So we'll see how the map ban goes. I do hope to see Sandstone, and not as a 3rd map, because we did see Sandstone as a 3rd map in the first best of 3, but we never really got there because Saints just got absolutely destroyed. Saints just absolutely destroyed and obliterated Horizon. So yeah, so far it has been fun. I do hope we go even if Sandstone is not in the picture, I do hope we go distance in the finals, just because it feels better, right? If you're watching the finals and you're in midway through the second game and you see that, okay, obviously there's a clear winner, it's just not as hype, not as fun for the finals, not as fun for me to cast even. So yeah, I'm hoping we go the distance, go 3 maps, regardless of which team eventually takes it. But so far, it has been a lot of fun. It has been a lot of fun, casting this tourney. I did miss yesterday, but I think the group stage was so far, at least for me, kind of the more fun matches to watch. Even though they were best of 2, they just seemed kind of more edge to edge here. The only close best of 3 that I could really say was the Revile, or Winstrike, should I say, Winstrike versus Horizon yesterday. That was a really actually fun and close game to watch. But we'll see how that goes. I mean, Winstrike, they do have a beautiful logo here. It's a new logo, because we did not see this logo, we did not see this name in the group stage. Again, they got picked up by Winstrike. I believe they were called RGG, RGG, or Revile Gaming, or Revile GG before, but now they're Winstrike, so that's maybe clearing up some of the confusion that some of you might have. And here they are. They look ready to win, should I say. They look very determined to win, especially Lunax. So, I mean, we'll see kind of how that comes into play once we actually get to our first match here.
Yeah, and I mean, they've done just great all the way through. Skill, Do, Franzi, apart, and, you know, insert whoever they may have kind of in the mix there. Sometimes, you know, it gets changed up a little bit, but Lunix, again, doing his part as well. I mean, just everyone has just been just solid all the way through. And yesterday against Horizon, everyone was really on point. Now, one of the games, though, however, it was a little weird. Like, Skill just had 3 kills all the way through, and so everybody else was basically picking up the slack on that. I don't know what was happening on the last one, but overall, I mean, everybody has done great across the board. And Skill, I guess it depends on the day, but either he could be the top fragger all the way and be MVP, and other days he can't. But that's where having that good chemistry with your team and knowing that the skill level with your team is also there, and they've just done so good consistently. But STREETEIGHT, on the other hand, kind of the underdogs. You know, they've gotten the least amount of points, but yet they're still here, and they're in the finals because they're able to take out Saints. They're here, they're ready to go, and they're here to really showcase their name, being one of, just at this point, it's undeniable that they are one of the best teams at this point. And being that they're not the oldest, but they're not the newest, you know, still being in from 2018, they definitely have some of the oldest team players in the scene. I mean, they're very seasoned. They know what they're doing, which is clearly an indication of why they're here in the finals. But overall, just holding their own, and, you know, with these plays back and forth between them, it really showcases that ability to really hang out here, and especially like Mysterio. Mysterio is really the one, to me, that stands out the most, that he's able to do these clutches and not broken just like that, getting 3 kills and the knife right there. Just ridiculous across the board. And here's one of them here on Standoff. This is the knife I was telling you about, Twist, right there. Taking the corner, taking the shot, it just slashing his stomach open is great. But they were doing a wonderful job at that. And the shotgun play was so surprising around on both sides. I really do hope that, you know, maybe cross fingers, maybe we get to see that again, because I need you to experience that. It's great on Sandstone. But they've definitely shown, even though they're not the oldest team, they themselves are very well experienced. So they do know what they're doing. I guess it just comes down to the right place, the right time, and what day, and all the different factors that go into that.
Yeah, STREETEIGHT definitely seem like they have the individual flair. Like, so far, I think we've seen the most knife kills coming in from STREETEIGHT in this tournament. Like, they are leagues above, like, anyone else in terms of knife kills. And yeah, just a fun team to watch. Like, it seems like they're playing for the clips almost at times, which, I mean, I know it's not true, they're playing to win. But, like, it's, being an Xer, would you say, YouTuber myself, you know, I appreciate the effort they put in, and just, like, looking things look good and beautiful. Almost like they're trying to, you know, upload a clip montage right after every game that they play. So yeah, great stuff coming in from STREETEIGHT. But I mean, again, they are up against Winstrike, and Winstrike, maybe they don't have that, like, individual, like, oh my god, that's a triple and he finished it off with knife, but at the same time, they're just really, really good in terms of team play.
Yeah.
Now the Bad comes in. No Sandstone for me. This is the 24th game that I cast, I believe. No Sandstone. That's fine. Anyways, Breeze, Zone 9, and Rust are in the picture. Rust being the decider. That would be a great way to end. And I like Breeze in the map pool. I feel like Breeze and Sandstone have really been the maps that just completely been neglected throughout the group stage and also throughout the finals. We do see Breeze a bit more in the finals. I believe you guys said like once yesterday, right?
Yes, that was the match that ultimately allowed Winstrike to get ahead. It was on Breeze is when that broken buy happened that allowed them to really take it all the way.
Okay, so, you know, I'm happy to see Breeze as well. It's only going to be my second time, so for you, I think it's your third, so you're maybe a little bit more experienced in terms of Breeze. But I honestly hope that, you know, the next minor, the next major, next tournament that we cast, we actually see Breeze and Sandstone being played more, because they're just, like, completely neglected. Like, what, we've seen Sandstone once, Breeze, like, this is going to be the third time, I guess, but, like, come on, guys, you know, just...
We've seen Zone 9 like 27 times.
Yeah, zone 9 every single, literally every, I think zone 9 officially in every single best of 2, best of 3 that we casted, we've seen at least, well, what am I saying at least? We've seen a zone 9. We've seen a zone 9 in like all of these matchups. So, I mean, it's definitely a fun map, but on the other side of things, like, well, probably Sandstone and Breeze are getting banned because teams are just not good on it. So, a little twist tip, a little twist hack for the next tournament. Guys, if you're a team and you're competitive, just pick Breeze and pick Sandstone and just literally spend a whole month getting really, really good on them. Because if you get really good on Breeze and Sandstone, well, the opposite team can only ban one map. So that means if they ban Sandstone, you pick Breeze. If they ban Breeze, you pick Sandstone, and you're going to be amazing on it. You're going to beat everyone because nobody else has spent a month literally like, you know, try-harding on these two neglected maps. So I'm just trying to spread some love for Breeze and Sandstone. It hurts, you know, if I was one of those maps, I would definitely not be happy about my my life in the competitive map pool. But I mean, at least we're going to see Breeze. I would have hoped to see Sandstone. And yeah, Rust to finish it off is interesting because Rust is usually, I'd say, the most chaotic map that you see. Rust is really a map where both bomb sites are close together. That means that the CDs can rotate very quickly. So what often happens is that T just go for like, the T players just go for like crazy aggressive pushes or try to like, you know, just entry frag and go quickly. So if we do get Rust, which I hope we do, it's gonna be an absolute chaotic blast. But not to get ahead of ourselves, we gotta start with the first match, with the first pistol round. So there you go, Winstrike on the counter-terrorist side, Street 8 on T side. It's gonna be a fun match, and I mean, Yado, he's having fun already, taking Floodzor down with a bullet to the dome there.
Yep, and we're already starting it off. One's already down for the side of Street 8. It's not the best, but we are in pistols, so it's totally doable. Things are happening. But, you know, it's honestly a little bit slower than you would expect, but that's kind of the best part. Being on the T side, they can take their time, throw them off, have them expect they're going somewhere else. But my favorite thing about Breeze is what they're doing right now is just bombarding the skies with equipment, getting it out there, flashing, smoking, and just getting everything over those buildings is just my favorite part. They're like nowhere's safe. Like you can think that you're safe, but the fact that a grenade can just come over the building, land at your feet where they know that you're going to be, and just absolutely have a hard time. And look, a grenade flying out isn't going to do anything. Maybe not. Had the potential.
Well, Raz goes down as well, so that's Winstrike on 1. Just good overall gameplay there. Like they didn't really make any mistakes, and yeah, looking solid so far. Especially with Street 8 not really being able to buy anything here. I feel like Winstrike might be able to push that early gas pedal and just get ahead, which is ultimately what you want to do, especially on the CD side of things. You really don't want to give T's any advantage, because as soon as they get that one, they might get the second, they might get the third, and I mean, by that point, you are not doing a proper job on CD side of things. So far so good for Winstrike. We'll see what Street 8 must drop here.
Yeah, now they have a chance. You're going to be able to potentially try this again, see how it goes. They're definitely more bundled up than they were last time. A may be where they want to go, but oh no, skill with the P90 hanging out. That's gonna be rough again, even against pistols. There's 4 of them, but that P90, if he can soften them up a little bit with that grenade, which it looks like it's not gonna connect at all, but that P90 is gonna rip through them. So this might be the quick round that they need to just go ahead and put it up 2 on the board, make it easy. Position has been given. Oh, and here comes P90, MP7. Oh, there it is. And Franz. Yeah, we were saying Street 8 had some of the most nice. Well, Franz wants to go ahead and put his name in that bucket too, to just make sure that we get some nice stabs.
Yeah, that was very nice. You know, you get the money advantage when you get knife kill, but you just get the I'm feeling good advantage as well. It's always nice to see those knife frags. I mean, that's kind of one of the things you normally do when you play for content. But I mean, there definitely is some kind of competitive edge if you get knife kill, which is, well, even if we don't consider mental, it's about also getting that extra cash bonus, I believe, that you get with the knife kill. You should be able to get the most amount of money. That's the way that it normally goes. Anyways, Winstrike are on 2, and so Street 8 are entering their first rifle round here. They're gonna look to attack the B bomb site. I mean, the bomb is going there, but they might just gonna scope for their options here. Yeah, they're just gonna drop the bomb in a safe spot and pretty much go everywhere on the map. attacking the T side of things almost as if it's CT, just players going everywhere, trying to look for picks, trying to see if they can get an opening, and most likely if they get an opening, go there. If one of their players goes down, they might just quickly push the other bomb site. So Flodzor, he is going to try to jiggle there and find any space that he can get, but actually space denied. He gets smoked off there, so the best that he can do is just wait for the smoke to disappear. Even though we've seen some crazy stuff from Flodzor, I don't think he's mad enough to just push through the smoke. I mean, that would be a great way to tilt your opponents, but most of the time it doesn't work. That's why you don't do it. Now, Yado, he is picking very long distance here with the MP7. Granted, he is jiggle peeking, so even if he spots a player, he probably won't engage for death there, you know. But at the same time, kind of risky.
It definitely is, but at least that's valuable information. Now, what I do love to see, he's got skill here. Got a sniper rifle in hand, got the We'll see what he can do with it, but we're going to be seeing him. He's got wood. Ras goes down, and we're going to see a grenade coming in as well. And pop it up into the skill set is going to be skill. Going to go and get another kill from himself. Not broken, go down. That is 2 so far, and that's more than you probably ever asked for. But here we go. We're going to see, like, see up through the smoke. Going to see the grenades fly through. That potentially may do a lot of damage. And he's going to go down. Now, Skill, the only one here. Let's see what he can pull off. No, he's going to go ahead and drop it down. He's going to be able to see if he can't use the rifle a little bit better. I know, Skill. I see you. I see what you're doing. You swapped out. There's a good reason for it. It's okay. You can go and pick it up and use it for next round. I feel like he's talking to me with that. But they're going to be able to take out one. Fran's going to go down. Skill. Is he going to be able to... Is he going to go for the quick scope? He might. Ooh, that may not be the best option for him. He's going to see it, but no! Looks at the way at the wrong time and goes down, and that sniper rifle's unfortunately going to despawn.
I love seeing the sniper rifle. You know, unfortunately, not that much action coming from it in this round, but yeah, let's hope we see a little bit more of it. STREETEIGHT, they are able to find their first here, so even though Winstrike, it seemed like they were really ready to take the third, somehow STREETEIGHT are just able to find their stride again. I mean, that's good. Especially if you're on the T side of things, like every single round matters. So the fact that they're able to find their opening literally in the first actual rifle round is looking good for the side of STREETEIGHT. Now, look at this. Winstrike have grouped up towards B. They're just going to push it. Oh, this could be a complete spray down. I think STREETEIGHT might have heard them. Lunax is in a very good position, but again, I think they were heard, so his position might be known, and even if it isn't, SLV is just gonna nade him to death. Why, though, he's able to get one, though. So that's a 4v4, but look how overwhelmed he is, not broken. Takes him down with a wallbang, nevertheless. And so, Skill, yeah, all he has to really do here is just be aggressive and try to get a frag. He actually gets one not broken, but the reload coming in at the worst possible time. Flodzor is going to get a freebie, and now in a 2v3 situation, now Winstrike do have this one backstabber, Franz's, that might be able to get one, but ultimately, I think this is STREETEIGHT's round. Mysterio is going to push in, but of course, as soon as I say that, Franz's takes down Mysterio with a crazy FS headshot there. So now, back to equal playing grounds, and now that AK is retrieved, so that's going to be even better if you're on the side of Winstrike. Now, a part is shut down and Franz's position is known, so yeah, he's just gonna save. I mean, the time isn't really there for him as well, so he's just gonna probably head to the T-spawn of things and just save that AK, which is smart, but does put the game on equal playing fields once again.
Yeah, it definitely does, and you know, this is gonna be smart. It's super early, but look, they gotta save as much cash as possible. Because yesterday was a battle, so this is definitely probably for them to have a little bit of PTSD with that. They definitely want to keep as much money as possible. I mean, he's got plenty. He's got 6,100. But that AK is kind of pricey, so you definitely want to go ahead and save that extra cash and not have to spend the $2,700 for it.
Oh, most definitely. It's always smart to save, especially in those situations where it's like there's like a 2% chance that you can clutch it. I mean, why go for it? Like, you probably would in a casual, just kind of, you know, poke there and see what you can do. But in a pro game, the stakes are way higher, so therefore the decisions to save are also way more common. Now, STREETEIGHT, they're again grouping up towards that B side of things. It seems like it has really been the answer so far, but not broken. He does get broken. His skull is crushed, and so he goes down by a headshot. So I think STREETEIGHT might take a slower approach to this game. I mean, aggressing didn't really prove that useful, so SLV, he's going to still try to isolate his angles there, but just not being that aggressive, kind of more waiting for the CDs to make a mistake rather than potentially making a mistake yourself.
Yeah, they definitely don't need to be making any of those mistakes at this point. It's currently tied, and everybody's bought up. And so right now, this is not do or die yet, but definitely Street 8 definitely does not need to lose that extra money. I mean, right now, Mysterio on 0 and SLV on 700 bucks. Not a whole lot. They definitely need to make sure that money is saved. I mean, the rest of the team has at least a little bit of savings, but unfortunately, with the grenade, one's going to go down again. And so right now to a 3 to 5. The plan is to rotate, which they may get the inkling for that as well, since they haven't heard anything. Now that would be nice of Rast to make a little noise to make him still think it might be B, but they'll say they're going to try and just make their way over. They are going to start slowly moving over to A, but still leaving 2 on B. Let's see if they can get into the A site and lock it down, or potentially lose the round to Winstrike, as they're currently looking to be in the best position.
I mean, A is definitely the superior call here. There's only 2 players there. One goes down, the other one is skill and time is low, so he needs to be taken down as well. But Mysterio doing such a good job of exactly that, so the bomb is going to go down in the dying seconds here. Now, a quick retake is coming, so Mysterio, he has to go big once again. He knows some positions, throw the smoke, but he might not expect the CD players to be so close from the right side here. But his position is actually good for isolating gun duels, so I think with the Rask, they're just able to crossfire, which is exactly what they're doing. Mysterio gets one on Doe as well. Mysterio with another on a party's going so big in this round. Raz does get taken down, so Mysterio, he has to do everything here. Hiding behind the box, the time is on his side. He just has to run down the clock a little bit more. He takes the aggressive peek and does take down Lunax. That's a quad kill, I believe. Maybe even an ace in this round coming in from Mysterio. Again, the flashiest player shows up big time. Yet and time again. Mysterio, such a good round coming in from him. Putting Street 8 on 3. Clutching at 2v5, I believe it was. Absolutely insane from him.
Yeah, and see, that's my thing, is Mysterio is just the flashiest one of them all. He's the one who I expect the most from and the most out of. You know, no pressure or anything, but he's definitely the one to be able to do it, and being the one that now that he's MVP. But SLV, kind of the silent guy, but he's still right there with him as far as kills go with 5. And so they're still doing a great job, although Rask and Not Broken possibly need to be able to bring it up just a little bit more. Not Broken, take a little bit of a risk. He does have the sniper in his hand. We'll find out if that's going to work out in his favor. But I think that, you know, if they can at least get 1 or 2 with that, should be pretty good. It will definitely help with the long range, you know, holding down the site and being able to keep everything snug and secure and not have to worry about those long range AR gun duels. Should be a little bit easier for them, but they definitely need to get onto one of the bomb sites, because right now the bomb is not in anybody's hand, and they've got to make a decision which place they want to go. They're pretty spread out, and right now Not Broken is going to be moving back around, but I think the call may be going to be, which technically might be the best option. It's really just 50-50 at this point, but for the sniper rifle, I'm not sure if that's going to be the best call. We'll find out and see what Not Broken can do with it.
Lunax has to go pretty big here. I mean, the B bomb site is going to be under attack any second now, and he does have one teammate on here, that being Yado. But if Yado goes down from this aggressive peak, he might not even expect the player there. Let's see if SLV actually does get cleared. He does, but you know, SLV just being better, just being trigger patient there, getting the frag as quickly as Yado peaks. And so Lunax, yeah, he has to go big. 1v4 pretty much. He's getting rushed, pushed from all directions. His position is known. He tries to go for the pre-fire, at least get some damage in, but Mysterio just better, takes down Lunax. So now Winstrike, they find themselves in a pretty hard retake here. I mean, 2v5, is it even worth it? Look at the money, $100 on 2 heads. That's not what you want to, you know, just be at. So yeah, they're going to make the smarter decision here. Just retreat and try to go for a save here. Not around you want to concede.
That's the best option. I mean, 0 and $100. You know, $100 sounds great. And, you know, IRL, right? Sounds great. But in game where everything costs a lot more money, it's not really going to do you any good. So I think it's their best option. They might be found, possibly not. I mean, Franz is currently the one in the worst case scenario for that, but looks like it's fine. Everybody stayed alive. They've got their weapons still, so nothing too crazy. Now they have the chance to be able to buy up yet again, or potentially just stay on pistols and use those 2 hero rifles to maybe pick up some other ones, which is looking like what they're planning on doing. But Street 8, what a surprise against Winstrike. They're now 4. Winstrike is at 2. They have a 2-round lead, which is nuts considering the play we saw yesterday from Winstrike and Horizon. But the fact that they are ahead by 2, and it looks like they're going to take that tactical pause, which is kind of a big deal right now because they are currently losing.
Yeah, especially on the T side of things, like the fact that STREETEIGHT have been able to get 4, I mean, there's like 3 more rounds left in the half, but I feel like even if they lose all 3 of them, that's considered a good half, again, on the T side of things. So, yeah, they're putting up a very solid case for, you know, just taking the W. Again, STREETEIGHT barely qualified. They had 1 win, 1 draw, and 1 loss in the groups. That's the least amount of points that any of these teams had. So the fact that they're able to put this kind of performance against the best teams, pretty much, nevertheless, that is absolutely crazy. This boost might prove pretty deadly if somebody actually walks in that crosshair, but it seems like Winstrike, they don't want to take the aggressive approach anymore. They have slowed down their operations. They have completely stalled it down, and I mean, it makes sense. It seemed like whenever, you know, Yado was, for example, pushing up last round towards that B-long of things, and he just got taken down. So it's smart. It's always smart to, well, when things are not working, come up with different things that do work or different strats. Now, Yado, he is only in the USP, so you might actually go for the info play, but again, I feel like just the pace is going to slow down quite considerably here from Winstrike because that aggressive playstyle on CD side, it might work sometimes, but seems like STREETEIGHT are just ready for everything, at least in the first couple of rounds here. So, yeah, a much needed adjustment.
You know, and I love what he just did, Doe, putting his grenade in the corner just in case. I mean, he's going out for info. He's going to do what he does and see what he can do. But the fact that he's just went ahead and offloaded his pockets and to make sure that if anyone needs it, it's there. If he can go back and get it, yippee, but it's not going to go in the hands of the enemy team. So I love that he, you know, to see that it's not just like, ooh, let me just go out there and see what I can do. He's literally going out there to see if he can get a gun duel, win it, and or get the information, but without giving them any extra advantage at any stretch of that, which is great. Although I think where the sniper is going to be going out, which is probably a better idea since he's going to have to be part of the move up here. And so going up into this bomb site is probably a better bet than rushing in with the sniper rifle. Even as good as you can be, and I know that that's not necessarily the biggest thing in the meta for these guys to do, but he's got the rifle. He can always go back and get it as long as he survives, which is looks to be a yes. But also, he's got to survive first, which... Oh!
Hold on.
No!
Hold on. Okay, the time does run out, so Winstrike win the round, but that's not a fashion you want to win the round in. Just not a way how you want to win the round, guys. Like... Get it together. It was a good round, but it seems like there are just kind of these slips, these just slips that are not good for Winstrike at all. Not broken here. Look at this. One gets back and then almost gets the second one there. Absolutely crazy coming in from him, but ultimately not able to clutch it out just because of that time situation. But I mean, it was close. It really was as close as you can get. So yeah, Winstrike get their third, but still looking kind of shaky here, you know. We'll see how they do on the T side of things. But Floodzer, oh, okay. Well, he's out of the picture. Good. Gets double naded. There's just not. That's a rage moment, right? Like there's just nothing that you can do in that situation. Eats 2 nades pretty much to his face, and I mean that does improve the situation here for Winstrike.
Yeah, that's just where it goes sometimes, and so that already in these early stages made it to a 5v4.
They're so close. Finally, not broken spots apart. They were like 2 meters or 3 meters away, but like each just looking the opposite direction. That was interesting.
Yeah, that's just unfortunate for him. You know, sometimes it happens, and well, here we go again. Mysterio doing what he does, taking another one down. Still looking strong. I mean, Winstrike still needs to bring it up at least one more to be able to tie it. But Street 8 is really, really looking good. And by all means, I think this is definitely going to be what you would consider a rematch. Because currently, you know, in the LAN last year, they got second place. And we all know Winstrike got first place. So at this point, this is kind of a redemption mode for Street 8. They want to be able to say, all right, you guys beat us on the LAN. That's okay. We've done some practicing. It's been a couple months. So let's go ahead and show them what we can do. Street 8, definitely, this is a big moment for them to be able to do that. Now, obviously, in the next LAN would be a bigger thing for them to do. But ultimately, as of right now, this can still give them an online redemption. They still have a chance later on to get that LAN win, which I'm sure they'll be working towards. But Winstrike actually being able to pull it out and being able to tie it up, looks pretty good. They're not broken, nowhere near close yet. Not broken as eight grand in his pocket right now, so should be quite easy for them to just go ahead and keep buying. But they still a long road ahead, and we're about to hit to the flip. So one of these teams will be hitting the lead, and so Winstrike definitely wants it to be them.
Oh, for sure. And they've made somewhat of a good case in these last couple of rounds. I mean, again, some of them are a little bit shaky. I mean, 2 rounds ago, almost a 1v3 going down, only ending because of time running out. But at the same time, like, Winstrike do seem like after that tactical pause, they have regained their confidence and, approaching the game from a different perspective and just doing different things does seem to work out. Now, Lunax is once again getting quite aggressive. Winstrike, they just can't seem to help their pushing behaviors. I mean, this time it does work out in their favor, so props to them. Lunax does eat a nade, so 61 HP actually taken away from him by a single $300 utility. Oh no, and even more almost. He does take cover, so 0 right there. But Lunax, is he just gonna push in? The Madman is just gonna push in and get Rask. That is crazy. Lunax with low HP as well. He just can't help himself. He just can't stop pushing on the CD side. And somehow it does work out, just completely surprising STREETEIGHT players there. So now Lunax almost single-handedly turning this 5v5 into a 3v5 that STREETEIGHT really have no business in winning.
No, they don't. But at this point, I mean, again, looking good for Winstrike to be able to move this forward. And the fact that this is STREETEIGHT's pick, I mean, it's pretty close. I mean, if anything, if yesterday's indication with Winstrike and Horizon, where Winstrike can really hold their own and stay strong and staying really close to whoever their opponent is, we should be seeing this close set of matches, maybe a little bit of back and forth, continuing all the way through today. And all of the games, which should be pretty good for rolling into map number 3 and going to the decider on Rust. But overall, they're keeping it close.
Yeah, from what we've seen so far, this definitely looks like a third map is in the works, because, I mean, these teams just can't be separated. Sure, STREETEIGHT might get a little bit of a advantage there, getting those early T-side rounds, but as soon as that timeout comes in, Winstrike are able to just re-strategize, readjust, and ultimately put some rounds on the scoreboard as well. Now they're leading, and STREETEIGHT trailing by 1. Now, granted, STREETEIGHT still did a very solid performance for that CD side of things, right? Like, they got 4 rounds. Now coming into the pistol, if they're able to get the pistol, they're back on the horse. But never, ever discredit Winstrike. We've been in this situation before, and as you said, on the LAN, they were able to actually beat out STREETEIGHT. So we'll see if it's a repetition of that, or if actually STREETEIGHT have found their strength and their stride, and they'll be able to take this. Now, still a long way to go. Rask is going to hold this angle right here, but actually gets off of it right when they peak, so kind of an off angle for him now. Has to do some damage, throws in the nade that might actually go big, but doesn't do anything there, so the A side is getting contested heavy, and it's really only Rask here. He has to maneuver, he has to jump around these angles, and Apart and Franzies are just going to be better, so Mysterio going down as well. This doesn't look too good for STREETEIGHT. All 3 players coming in from pretty much the same direction. Now, Not Broken does nade Apart, and SLV's position is known, so he might actually just go down uncontested here. But Yedo has to rotate quick. What is that from SLV? He almost shoots through the wall there, just instant lock-on headshot. So once again, I didn't even see the bomb was not down, and that's a huge mistake on the side of Winstrike. It was a 3v5, this bomb side was open. They just wait a little bit, and I mean, that wait is gonna cost them a lot. We could have been like 25 seconds down the bomb already, but now, I mean, STREETEIGHT are in a good position, 2v3, and they have all the time in the world to actually push on the bomb site and retake it.
Yeah, they do, and right now, 3 versus 2, but right now, 1 bullet each would be a huge deal right now, and let's see if Franz can do it. He's gonna connect 1 on each, maybe 2 here. Let's see if he can do it. Oh my goodness, he can. He's able to defend that solo against 2 of them and able to get it all the way. It almost didn't look good versus 2 against 3, but 2 super low players able to go ahead and take those out and finalize it. That's how Winstrike does it. Just all they gotta do is get a couple of taps here and there, just jiggle peeking back and forth, a little tap here, a little tap there. And then when it came for the ultimate push, they were able to just finalize it. And now they're up by 2. And so if they can keep this hold, if it goes anything like it did yesterday and they can stay close together, this 2-round lead is exactly what they need to win this one. And again, this is not their map pick. This is the pick of Street 8. And then going into Zone 9 would be for there. So let's see what they can do. They're going for the hard push. Oh, he's almost too close. Oh, but apart, able to save the day. Franz still, look at that, unscathed. And Lunix here, again, Mr. Push-Up. He's going to have some good biceps by the time he's done with all these push-ups he's doing. I mean, he is just going straight up into the chaos and still doing it again. So now down to 2 versus 5. Oh, it's not looking good for Street 8.
No, not at all. I mean, they looked so dominant. Once again, it's one of those games where just one team, as soon as they start getting that momentum, it is so hard to break. Momentum really seems to be the word of the finals here. Like, as soon as one team pushes ahead, it's pretty much over until finally, you know, the other team finds a round, and then they find 3 more in a row. Although they weren't able to win anything in, let's say, the last 7, somehow, as soon as you get that one, it's almost guaranteed triple. So yeah, but so far, just things going the way of Winstrike. And again, this being Street 8's map pick is just not a situation you want to find yourself in. Now, they are on the CD side, so that's a little bit of an advantage here. I mean, they're going to buy their first rifle, so if they're able to get this round and probably the next one, then they break the economy of Winstrike, and again, they're back on the horse. So it's close. It really is, like, the rounds might not seem that close, but when it comes to kind of potential for winning, both teams really still have a case for that, especially with Winstrike not really losing any players in the last round. Now they actually have the worst equipment here. Like, they have some MP7s, some MP5s, they have some FALs, but on the other side of things, Street 8, they're pretty much fully armored rifles. Sure, the utilities really aren't there, but then again, on the CD side of things, you can get by. You can get by if you don't have a full util set. On the T side of things, you don't have utils, you're pretty much, the round is over. There's just not really any way how to dry peek a site and clear all angles without any utility. But it seems like Winstrike, they are going to head towards that mid area, actually, which we haven't seen that much from Street 8. So this might be a breath of fresh air, which might just blow away all chances of Street 8 here.
It very well might, but we're going to see Lunix here. Oh, and looking at the wrong spot. Same for Franz, going down, not broken, really cutting it in. Oh, not broken is not going to let this happen. And another one. Is he going to get an ace? Are we going to have an ace in the finals, potentially? And it looks like there's some damage being dealt. Are they going to let him have it? Ooh, we got 2 going down. Doe is here. And not broken is on the left.
Potential ace quad being turned into a 1v5 clutch. That would be absolutely insane. I would live for that. But I think with 17 HP and 40 seconds remaining, especially the bomb being down, like this just screams, yeah, either Street 8's round or, you know, ace from not broken. But I mean, still, there's a chance. We've seen some crazy stuff from Yado, so
he's moving.
See how he approaches this one.
All he's got to do is hop over this. And not broken. Just got to see this. He's not looking the right direction. But he is. Oh, no, and it's stolen. SLV getting the last one. Absolutely not broken. Could have 100% gotten that. But quad, almost ace. Not too shabby. Now we're going to see from his point of view. Just absolutely dominating 2 right there. Going into the back, repositioning, and going to go ahead and use that beautiful scope to go ahead and get the 3rd here. And then again for the scope, just the tiniest part of the forehead. And to take him out, just the level of recoil control right there is top notch.
Everything there was top notch. The movement, the positioning was absolutely insane. As soon as he gets a frag, he repositions, he picks a better angle, and it's just so hard to clear him. So yeah, not broken, showing a big time for Street 8. That's exactly what they needed, because now the team spirit is back. Now what skill has is an AWM, so we'll see if that has anything to do in this round. But yeah, Winstrike definitely looking to shut down that B-bomb side of things, but actually all action going towards A, and Lunax is able to get the entry frag here on Rask, so potentially only 2 players left on the A side, and 2v5 situation should really be hard to defuse it. Now, not broken once again, able to find 1, but Mysterio He's just gonna shoot there, try to stay alive, and Not Broken again. He gets a triple again. What is happening? Not Broken still, Not Broken still looking for frags. And finally, that AWM does finish him off, leaving STREETEIGHT in a 1v2 and Franzi's to go on SLV. Not Broken, the only one to frag in this round. 7 kills in 2 rounds, but still not enough to keep STREETEIGHT fighting. The Winstrike are 2 rounds away here. STREETEIGHT, they gotta show all up. You know, it can't be just Not Broken. All of them. SLV, Mysterio, even though they had great opening rounds, now they've kind of fallen silent, and especially with Rask not really having the game of his life. It seems like STREETEIGHT are just suffering in terms of individual performance. So if they want to win as a team, they gotta show up individually first.
Yeah, they definitely do. And right now, it's not looking too good. Pistols are out and about. Winstrike just looking their best. And even though there's an FAL, but I mean, if you haven't lost it, I mean, you might as well keep going, right? So they are just doing what they can. Lunix really just that discipline of just waiting, like, hey, is there anyone else going to come through? And that's going to be 2 for him. Even though it's pistols, that was just great to see what kind of information he could get and what they're able to do. And now it's going to be a 3 versus 5. It's going to be a lot easier for Winstrike to get into the bomb site. B is open for business. Now we do have Mysterio, you know, kind of the clutch king for the team coming in. Of course, aside from Not Broken, he's just doing ridiculous stuff. And a quick headshot, pinging it. Mysterio, his position has been known now.
Player. He's just inspecting his weapon, just casually pulling up, inspecting his weapon, then getting the frag. He does get taken down, so now Not Broken. Even though we've seen some great stuff from him, I mean, he's left in a 1v4, not really much to do here. Perhaps retrieve a weapon, but I think his position is heard, so he might actually be the one going down, especially if he's not going to check this angle, which Franzis is very good at holding. So insta headshot there from Franzis, and Winstrike once again extending their lead up on 9. STREETEIGHT. This looked like a solid game from them, but so far Winstrike have just been better. And this is STREETEIGHT's map pick, so you know they gotta pull it together here. Next one we're heading on to, it's gonna be all in favor of Winstrike. So STREETEIGHT really their last chance here to you know, pull back in this match. It started off great. I mean, to remind you guys, they were up 4-1 on the T side, I believe, but then just crumbling since that individually.
Yeah, and again, it's all about those flashy players. And Lunix is really the one showing up, being that clutch player for the team. I mean, everybody's saying super close together. I mean, look at that, 888s on the side of Doe, Skill, and Apart. But then Franz doing wonderful, but still staying solid. But again, Lunix is just, you know, again, all those push-ups that he's been doing, he's going to be ripped because he just continuously pushes up, takes kills, and keeps moving and just taking them out. And again, the team play is already going to be there, but the fact that someone is outstandingly ahead, that's definitely just going to help them out. That's exactly why they're winning these rounds. Now, unfortunately, Not Broken just went down, so it might be a little bit harder for STREETEIGHT. And we still got Mysterio, but he's definitely flashy. He's good, but like Not Broken is definitely your more sound and sturdy guy. And of course, Mysterio just now going down. He did get 1 kill on his way out, but still got 3 to contend with. And I think they're just going to call it. The 2, I would say, arguably best players for the team are out. And so they're still going to hang out, potentially see what they can do, but I don't think there's a whole lot that can really be done.
I mean, it is a 3v4, so it's not the worst of situations, especially with Rask still being on the side that's probably going to go under attack any second now. There's a chance, but he's just... What is happening? He's just getting completely flashed off. I have no idea what happened there, but somehow Franzis is able to find a double, and now Floodzer, 7 kills to his name, needs to go up to 11, to at least for us to consider STREETEIGHT still being in this game. And I mean, it's just a little bit too much to ask here. His position is being checked on a tight angle nevertheless, so not even able to find one there. Lunax, absolutely insane performance by him. I believe he finishes the first game on like 19 on 20 bomb. That is absolutely insane, just individually crazy performance, but also not only individually, Winstrike seemed to be really good at the team play as well. Because on the other side of things, like, yes, STREETEIGHT had their plays. I mean, they had their Mysterio moments, if you will, right? But they really didn't have that team play to kind of take them over the edge. They really didn't have that, okay, I'm showing up, but also all my teammates are showing up. We saw Ras not really having the best game. I mean, granted, it all can change. You know, 2 kills in first game oftentimes translates into like 20 the next. But in this way, in this game, that wasn't really the case. And I mean, look at this SLV. He was just able to find many, and yeah, it's just interesting to see that Winstrike just seemed to be better at terms of team play. Like STREETEIGHT, they have some openings, but they're just not able to really shut it out. And especially with losing that pistol, I feel like that completely kind of shifted odds towards Winstrike. We should see that in any second. But basically, yeah, STREETEIGHT losing a 1v3 in a pistol, that should be pretty much guaranteed your round. That's just not a way how you want to start the second half of things. And I mean, things just kept getting worse from there on out. Here we can see Not Broken almost clutching a 1v3. So again, individually, that's crazy. But when it comes to the team play, just not the correct amount of refrags, just not delivering when it really matters. And so, yeah, Winstrike take the first. This was STREETEIGHT's map pick, nevertheless. So it's just going to be an uphill battle from here on out. Winstrike have to just, you know, finish it off on their map pick, whereas STREETEIGHT, they have to win 2 in a row, and they are definitely not the favorites. Yeah, here we can see Franzi. He got a double there, but it was a 1v3, I'm quite sure. So yeah, that just tilts the odds completely towards Winstrike. And I mean, from there on out, STREETEIGHT only got 1 round. So absolutely crazy how Winstrike were able to gain momentum here and just, you know, keep on rolling until they eventually won.
Yeah, and like you were saying, you know, Rask was not his best game today on this one. And everybody on the side of STREETEIGHT, you can see their scores. They're all staying close to the same. Not broken. It's just a little bit ahead. But problem is when you have that person who is definitely the head person, which is Lunix for Winstrike, they didn't have anybody really running away for their team. But what they did have was actually somebody who was actually actively bringing them down just a little bit, because he really didn't have a whole lot of kills. And so the fact that the whole team on Winstrike was close, plus one just running away with it, versus everybody being super close together, someone slightly ahead and then someone really far behind, it just did not spell victory for them. Now, Zone 9, again, we know that as it's played every single time, and yet again, we're going to see it. But maybe, since that's the case, it is seen most of the time, maybe this is where we can finally, you know, have STREETEIGHT come about, do their thing, and be able to get around on the board, then we can go to Rust, and we can see what happens. But this is kind of the best case scenario, I'm going to say, for STREETEIGHT on a map that has been played numerous times, multiple days, and I know they play it all the time. So if they don't win here, obviously, they don't win. But again, this is the best case scenario for them to be able to have that chance. And so they really, really have to show up here and show us what they can do and lock down these bomb sites on both sides in Zone 9.
I feel like it's not even about it's not really about STREETEIGHT like playing exceptionally well. I feel like even if they do, STREETEIGHT, like they have to wait for Winstrike to make mistakes, right? Because even if STREETEIGHT play really, really well, it's still, I feel like, not going to be enough if Winstrike are just doing their normal standard stuff. They're just holding angles. They're just doing what they do best on Zone 9. Like, they really, like, it is I feel like map 3, from what I saw in the first game, again, Caster's Curse might come into effect, but from what I saw in the first game, like, this does not look like a three map best of 3. This looks like Winstrike are ready to take it now. They were looking very, very solid, especially after being 1 to 4 down, being able to just string together pretty much 9 rounds, and with only 1 for STREETEIGHT to answer, they just looked so dominant. So yeah, it's not only that STREETEIGHT have to completely overperform here and just show up better than we've ever seen them in this tournament, it's also that Winstrike really have to make some huge mistakes here, some huge flaws, especially in their CD side defense once we actually get that side switch, to really let STREETEIGHT take this one.
Definitely. I mean, they are super solid. So, and the fact that there is, you know, less than 5 minutes in between going back into the first round again, and it's not a lot of time to really take away from their lead and the way they feel and slow them down. So it's a little bit of time, but I don't think it's gonna be enough for Winstrike to lose that momentum. And looks like they're already flying into the bomb site. They've already got it planted. Grenade coming in 2 HP for Mysterio, He is just a windbreak away and looks like absolutely up. He's going down. Easy peasy. Now it's a 4-2. Winstrike has already got the bomb planted. And here we go. Not broken. Able to pick up one, which is fantastic. He's the one I would expect to be able to do so. But they still got to keep getting more. Bloods getting one. Not broken, and SLV getting another. This might be a good opportunity to get the first one not broken again. And here we go. Rask showing up in the first one. Now all they got to do is get that defuse right there. Now STREETEIGHT getting the first one to Winstrike, actually going down on the first one. That's a good start.
It definitely is a good start, but they need 90 more of these. It's looking good. It definitely is looking good, especially with Winstrike not really buying anything. I mean, STREETEIGHT should be looking at the second round here, and they are starting on the more beneficial side, which is the CD side, and I feel like that could be, and that usually is, a good mental boost. Like, when you start on the stronger side, it's just like, it's easier for you, right? Like, before the side switch, you're normally in the lead, and sure, you have to keep on and hold on to that lead, and that, you know, could come to your detriment eventually, but I feel like this is exactly what STREETEIGHT need, especially after that first game, where in 10 rounds they're only able to find one round in those last couple in the kind of end game, middle to end game. They just need that confidence boost. They just need to know when, like, when things are not going well, they're able to actually find their way back into this. And Rask and SLV are doing exactly that. Rask literally finding his way back into the B bomb site. Doesn't deny the plan, but his teammates will take down everyone else, and so the defuse comes in. Sure, Winstrike planted that some extra money in their inventory, but at the same time, STREETEIGHT are just looking good here. Hopefully they can extend that to the rifle rounds as well.
Yeah, most definitely, and this is going to be the first rifle round coming in. We're seeing it here. Winstrike's going to be buying up. Interesting. Skill already pulling out the very ballsy right up here at the front. He's having a little bit less armor, but that's okay. He's supposed to be further back, so that's fine. But I think it's gonna be interesting. I'm really curious to see how that goes for him. I mean, we have a fully just about bought up team as far as everything in their pockets go for STREETEIGHT. I mean, Rask is on MP7, and we do see if Amos still in there for SLV. Is that gonna be good? I don't know. Will that be their downfall? It's a bunch of AKs and an AUM, so I'm really not sure. STREETEIGHT starting off really good, but it depends on how Winstrike uses those AKs. And if skill here can show up really, really strong, that would be huge for this round for them.
I want to see that AWM. Definitely would be huge, but I just want to see some clips, man. I'm here for the clip montages and clip montages only, and I mean, I'm expecting skill to at least, you know, try to contribute to that. But STREETEIGHT are very well. There you go. He does take down one. Rask is gonna refrag on a part, but skills AWM is still in the picture. So even though it's a 3v4, I feel like they might be able to find an opener back into this game, especially with that AWM being in play. Now Rask is going to make a lot of noise and rotate over, but I don't think he was actually heard. The bomb is not even picked up yet, so they might actually go and explore A, see if there's anyone there, and STREETEIGHT seems like they are aware of the possibility. Skill is thrown a flashbang. Gonna try to retrieve the bomb. It's gonna be interesting to actually commit to hit the B bomb site. STREETEIGHT, one player is rotating over, that being Mysterio, so far he has been absolutely insane in terms of the clips, but not so insane in terms of just holding on to that individual performance. And so Lunax is going to take down SLV, making it fair and equal playing ground once again. Now, they completely evacuated the site, which is not good in a 3v4. The pre-fire does come in, but Lunax able to take down Mysterio. So now a 2v2, 10 seconds left on the clock. Lunax, what is that? He jumps on. Bomb is planted. So now Flodzor, the tides have shifted. 1v2 for him. And both players on Winstrike on full HP. All they have to do is just play on time here, not be too aggressive, just hold their angles, and eventually they should win. The timing is not really on the side of Lunax there. It's not checking the correct angle, but there you go, skill. Just making sure that with that sniper, when he has that sniper, nobody can just take him down like that. So, you know, the X and the Y axis are the ones you don't want to cross, and especially if skill has that U ratio, that has that AWM, so he does take down one player there.
I tell you what, though, he has swapped out, thrown the weapon he was able to pick up, and now has an AK in his hand. I think that's great that he's going to be able to not only share the love for that, for the weapons and share, but they still may be expecting him to have that sniper rifle in his hand. So their playstyle is going to be a little different, and he's going to be able to fly up here and push. And so that's going to be a huge change of pace because they're going to be expecting that sniper rifle. And, ooh, this is going to be an absolute wipe here. They are just knocking him out. And it's not even from skill either. He hasn't even really made his appearance yet. They still don't even know that he doesn't have it.
Just like that. It feels like these last couple of rounds were really, really quick, especially this one. And I mean, Winstrike, they are back on equal footing. So even though STREETEIGHT may be able to advance in the pistol and the consecutive, when it comes to rifles, Winstrike are just able to shut STREETEIGHT out. And I mean, look what that has done to their economy. Two FSs, 2 shotties, and a USP. This is really a dream and a half. Like, if they want to win this one, there's just so much to do here, right? Like, they have to play it perfectly. They have to win the luck game as well, kind of stack towards the correct side of things. It seems like they don't even want to go for the stack. They want to play with these measly pistols and shotguns like it's a rifle round. They want to go 2A, 2B. Oh, it's not broken. He's just gonna get broken there. I'm sorry. He tried his best, but there were 4 players staring down his barrel in the opposite direction, getting flashed as well. And so Mysterio is going to move in, but there's actually 1 player in spawn. So I think Skill is going to have a field day here if he actually catches these two backstabs. He's going to backstab the backstabbers. That's not really something you see a lot, but I mean, it does seem like it's going to be an option any second now. They're going to get peeked, and when they do, I feel like they're just going to get completely shut down here. Oh yeah, there you go. Apart, takes down Flodzor, and well, that is over before it has even started for STREETEIGHT. They're just getting pushed from every direction here, and not even able to connect a single frag there. Barely any points of damage. Now Rask, he does change that statement a little bit, but I mean, with that FS in hand, it's not even a good save. Like, he was looking to retrieve a rifle there, but just not enough time, and you know, at the same time, Winstrike know it, so they're not going to allow it as well.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, that was still not too bad for Rask. I mean, he is definitely sitting a lot better in his kills than he was last time. So, you know, kudos to him for being able to bring that up a little bit. But honestly, that was just played so well for the side of Winstrike to be able to get in there, get that bomb planted, and really just hold it down. I mean, they had every angle covered. They even had the backstabber coming for the backstabs. It was perfectly executed. But again, I wonder if they still know. Because I don't think they've even had a kill yet, at least Skill. Still, nobody knows he doesn't have that. So they still may be expecting him at that range. So I'm really curious if he's going to be able to pop off with that AK and really surprise people. Because they're really not trying to be out in the open, you know, too much at this point. And I think that's part of the headspace. That's the mental game. He started off with it so early, and yet hasn't died, so you would fully expect him to have that, and he hasn't got any kills to indicate anything different. But we're going to see Doe here. He's going to pop off a couple of times, help out for one, finish off for the other one, and Rask and SLV are not in a good position. Maybe, again, this is why they picked the map. I mean, they're just doing solid. Bomb is now planted, and it's now down to a 2-4. Definitely should be a save any day of the week. They definitely do not need to engage because they need to save these rifles because they do not have enough money for this.
Yeah, a save call is much needed here. I'm not even sure if STREETEIGHT are going to be able to buy, so it could be a situation where there's like 2 hero M4s and the rest of the team are either on, you know, 4s bought MP7s, or a bigger possibility just like USPs. So STREETEIGHT not looking too good again. Somehow they're able to find their openers in these games. Like, they're definitely looking strong off the bat, but then once it actually starts to go again into the mid game, to the late game things, they're just not able to deliver when it matters. And with them being down in the first map already, and this being Winstrike's mapping on the CT side, like, all the odds are against them. Literally all the odds. There couldn't be like more things going wrong for them right now. So I feel like if there has been any time for them to actually prove that despite all of these odds being against them, they're still able to deliver, they're still able to fight on, I mean, it's now. It really is now. There's only a couple of rounds left before it's going to be too late to do anything. Even if they start comebacking, it's simply going to be too late, as Winstrike is probably going to be like 1 or 2 rounds away from victory. So yeah, they got to win either this one, which I mean would be the best case scenario, or the next. But I feel like if they lose this, they might even have to go eco once again the next. So it really is it really is all in their hands right now. And so, I mean, not broken. He has been really good at actually delivering, at having these crazy individual performances in certain rounds. You know, at getting quads, perhaps even attempting like 1v3, 1v4 clutches. So if there is any man that could do it on the side of STREETEIGHT, I feel like it's not broken. And well, luck is shining his way a little bit. Like the team on the side of Winstrike, they are coming towards B. That's exactly where Not Broken is located. So perhaps with some help from Rask and some other teammates, they will be able to shut it down. But they have to do it now or never.
Honestly, and I'm about to do, a bit of a thing I shouldn't be doing like I did yesterday, but I'm going to talk about little stats here. We'll do a little stats here. So, I mean, honestly, with what we're seeing with Winstrike and why they picked it, at least with the historical data that we have that was compiled, they have a 3.67 win ratio with 28 maps played here on Zone 9. Now, if we look on the other side for STREETEIGHT, at least as far as what we have in the data officially, they have 7 maps on Zone 9, and they only have a 0.7 win ratio. That is a massive difference. The fact that there is a 3 at the beginning of Winstrike's, a 3.67 chance of they're going to win 3 times out of all. I mean, that should be Winstrike any day of the week. Now, again, I may have just done the unthinkable, and now STREETEIGHT should be able to take that to their advantage. But Winstrike knows what they're doing here, and it's still an uphill battle for STREETEIGHT no matter what. Wow, especially when Franz does that and gets 2 of them back to back. This is not the map to be allowing Winstrike to have, because honestly, it's not their best map. Actually, they have a 6.2 rating on Rust, which is the decider. So that kind of looks worse even if STREETEIGHT wins. But I mean, it's probably not the best case scenario for STREETEIGHT. They had their chance on their map to really do what they needed to, but yeah, this isn't looking too hot.
Especially with this buy, like, it could not be any more scrappy. There's almost no utility. 2 players don't have full Kevlar. Actually, no, oh, this is just such a bad buy. I mean, STREETEIGHT, they're trying. They really are, like, trying everything that they can to at least, take this round, but it's just going to be so hard. Winstrike, well, first of all, the odds, like as you said, they've just looked so dominant throughout history on Zone 9, but also in this game, they just seem like the better team. They're consistently able to find, like skill does, find the heads, just click the heads quicker. Individually, they're better. In terms of team play, they're better. Even their luck is better, just all the odds seems like they're towards Winstrike. So with them being pretty much 4 rounds away here from completely eliminating STREETEIGHT, and again in the best in a 2-map fashion, STREETEIGHT will have to go so big here. Rask only has P90 to his name, not even a helmet, so he's just gonna try to save. I think again he might just get like pushed and overwhelmed, because Winstrike don't care. Like ultimately, look at their economy. They have 9k, they have 8k, 2 players on 8k, 1 on almost 6k. Like they can buy until the end of the game here, until we got to get to the side switch. So obviously, they're gonna look for their exit frags. They're gonna look for everything they can take. They've already taken so much from STREETEIGHT, and I mean, they're looking to take the final thing, which is that first place prize in the minor.
I mean, currently Winstrike is looking super hot for that. I mean, they are just locking these things down. Now, you want to talk about some scrappy buys? Here's another one too. Well, we got some USPs. We've got never mind. Okay, never mind. We got some P90s, an MP7, and some two rifles. They're gonna give it a shot again. I mean, I don't know. I mean, a save probably should have been best the last one. Go pistols, go harder this one, but because the scrappy buy didn't work out like at all last round. So let's see what they can do. Maybe change it up a bit. I mean, those P90s are dangerous. What I would love to see together would be a huge push with 2 P90s blazing the corner. That would be hard to negate.
Yeah, that would be at least switching up the game style, because right now STREETEIGHT are too predictable. Winstrike are just slowly, one by one, clearing these angles, using utility to do it properly as well. And STREETEIGHT, you know, when they're playing the same old playstyle, if you do what you did, you get what you got, right? So they're just losing rounds again and again and again here, and there's not really much they can do to combat that. I mean, they are trying something, but again, Not Broken just getting overwhelmed. Floodzer, he's gonna get peeked any second now, and even if one player on Winstrike goes down, the other one is there to refrag. Doesn't even need to. Floodzer goes down uncontested, apart, finds SLV's head as well, and this is just falling apart at the seams. Once again, Rask, the only one left live now. I have to give him props. In the first game, he only had like 2 or 3 frags. In this one, he has found double or triple that in half the round. So at least he's doing good individually. But again, it seems like on STREETEIGHT's side, when 1 or 2 players show up individually, the rest of the team do not. And ultimately, you need everyone to do that. So now he does that. Okay, Rask. Okay, I see you. I see that. That's a nice clip. That definitely is a nice clip, but it's definitely not a nice scoreline if you're on the side of STREETEIGHT. They've lost, well, 7 rounds, and they've gotten 2. And those 2, they were not even rifle rounds. So they've lost every single rifle round that there was in this game so far. So again, with the Winstrike being 1-0 in this best of 3, STREETEIGHT, like, this is the real final call. This is their real final chance. If they do not get the pistol, it is completely over. I don't care about any caster's curses. I don't care about predictions. It is over if they lose this pistol, all right? This is their final. This is their last chance, and if they don't get it, I'm sorry, guys. You put up a good fight. You got to the finals. That's more than the rest of the 6 teams in the minor did, but just not good enough for that first place. So the pistol. Yeah, is the decider here.
Fully agree. I mean, this pistol is the biggest pistol round of this entire tournament. Everything comes down to this. I mean, they really have to take this and just absolutely plow through. A little bit of grenades going off. It's fine. Okay, that's fine. 1 for 1. We can do that. But they've really got to get up in here, get that bomb planted and hold it down. This is for everything to be able to stay in this. There we go. A little bit, 1 for 1. There's still 3 left alive. It's okay. And the bomb is down, so there's a little bit extra there. But again, they have to stay alive. They've got to get that bomb to go off. Just waste their time a little bit. You know, play around a little bit, go back and forth. But now it looks like that was going to go down as well. So again, trades back and forth. Now up to Not Broken. Just the last man alive. Is he able to do it? He's just got to hold on. He's just got to hold on. It looks like pros never fake. Pros never fake. Pros never fake.
Not like this. Not like this, STREETEIGHT. Not like this, Not Broken. I mean, I get that he was going for the big brain play there, but simply, pros never fake. That's the truth. You just spoke the truth. Pros never fake. When you tap the bomb and you're a pro, you simply, you know, your balls are holding you down. You can't really stand up. You can't really stop defusing. So you're just gonna keep on defusing. And so, well, that's exactly what they do. Winstrike, they find themselves at 8 here, 2 rounds away from winning the minor. STREETEIGHT, I mean, they're gonna try, but again, you know, they're forced. So if they lose this round, they're on pistols. Good luck. Good luck.
Yeah, that's see, this is the same thing that happened against Winstrike. Was they went for the force buy, and they kind of went, you know, 50-60% of what they should have. And if they don't take this one, period, if they don't take it, it's gonna be match point for Winstrike, and they're gonna have pistols, a deagle, maybe an MP7. It's gonna be horrible again. And don't get me wrong, I guess it's really good for Winstrike to be able to somehow force people to do that. I mean, do that 2 days in a row would be absolutely nuts. And I don't know if it's just due to what people are trying to do to combat that, or maybe they're frustrating them too hard. They're not thinking about it all the way. But I don't know. I mean, right now it's looking pretty good. Flood getting some kills up. 2 of them are down. But That's you got to get one more, I would say. Get this one here. No. Skill able to take them down. Let's say they needed really that one to work in their favor. Now they still have Mysterio. He might be able to do something here. They'd be able to rotate in and maybe help out. But they may just let him have it just for the funsies. Just to save the extra weaponry. I don't know. It just kind of all depends. I might wait for some exits. I know Apart's going to go ahead and grab one. Going to fly in here, make for another one.
What?
Pros never fake.
What?
Oh wait, not enough time. Not enough time.
I'm not sure what was happening there. I felt like Winstrike, they were just not sure if they want to go for it, and when they decided they do, it was too late because yeah, they're able to take down the players, but the bomb does take down them, or I mean almost. So the time ticks down. There's just not enough time to defuse, and well, that's StreetEights on 3. All right, I'm calling it now. Winstrike are gonna win, but StreetEights are gonna make some kind of a comeback. We've seen this so many times, especially in the group stage, where it seems like the team that is losing badly, they do finally muster up the courage, and they do finally muster up the skill to actually make the comeback, but almost every single time, it's simply too late. So I feel like StreetEights, they might be able to do something here. I mean, it would be absolutely amazing if they actually win it, but I feel like, again, even with all the odds, you know, being in Winstrike's favor, simply this game on its own, even not looking at the odds, this game on its own has kind of been too far gone for them to actually lose it. Like, they have to make some insane mistakes here, round after round after round, to actually let StreetEights even get close to winning this one. So they're just gonna, you know, throw around some weapons, maybe play some football. I don't know what they're doing. That's more volleyball, I guess. But Apart is looking to find a frag here, and Floodzer might actually get completely obliterated. He's just not ready for the push. Winstrike, they're just riding. They're riding their wave here. They are confident. They're pushing in. They're looking for frags. Look at this. They're just not expected. How do you let that happen? I understand one, sure, he's aggressive. You don't expect the aggression, but once he's aggressive, you gotta watch the angle. You gotta watch the angle if you're StreetEights, and if you don't, well, this is exactly what happens. Sure, they're able to find one, but at the same time, this should have been StreetEights' round. Franz is only on a USP, and I believe Lunax, he has retrieved an AK as well, so yeah, not looking too good. Lunax taking down SLV as well, and I mean a 2v3, but this just screams all over for StreetEights.
Yeah, this is just... Come on, not broken. Do that clutch. Like we know you can. But oh no, through the container. Apart gets clean headshot. And we're down to match point. They've got halfway decent amounts of cash. Kind of, sort of, not really. This is going to be an all SMG blowout just about. Yep, here we go. Exactly what I said. SMGs, maybe a Deagle. We do have an FAL, but nothing of extra protection. This is it. Winstrike sitting at 9. StreetEights at 3. And just unfortunately has just been not going in their favor. Not any way, shape, or form. They're going to try and be aggressive here. Again, flashes come out. They have just got to get on the board. It's going to be impossible almost. They've got to do this 6 more times to tie it up to be able to do this. Now, they're doing halfway decent. They've got 3 down so far for Winstrike, but here they come. Not broken, going to try to do his best, and that best is halfway decent. Getting a headshot on Franz, but Lunix here able to change it up, but now it's 4v2. This is coming down to the wire. This could be the end, or we may see them win and go into another game, but they've still got plenty to do. But Apart, able to actually go down. StreetEights winning the round. And now they're up to 4. It's not too bad.
That was not too bad. That was a confident round. They'd stay 4 of them stay alive. I mean, that's great to see, but again, it's just a little bit too late here. Like, Winstrike are 1 away from taking it all in 2 maps, nevertheless. And StreetEights, again, they've had their strides, but it's just not enough. Just simply not enough. And it seems like the rounds that they do find are off of one individual player who just decides, you know what, it's time for me to show up. Maybe a little bit of luck kicks in for him. But at the end of the day, like, Winstrike are simply better at team play. Even if one player goes down, even if one player is having a bad game, somebody else will take his place. So StreetEights, they continue to fight on, but for how long? It really is the question. Mysterio almost, he just doesn't know the position. Oh, he spots him, but Rask, okay, there you go. That's what you need if you're StreetEights. You need some team play. You need some situations where, for example, Mysterio can't do anything. Rask is there to refrag. But I think Mysterio doesn't hear the other player, but well, he can flick for sure. Gets a crazy wallbang headshot there, so he just single-handedly almost continues to push on, and Floodzer finds Franzis, so at least StreetEights are not going out in a complete shutout. I mean, the first game they lost, I believe, with 5 rounds in their name. Here they're looking to get at least 6. I mean, this looks like it's gonna be 5, so yeah, we'll see if they're able to get some more again. I feel like StreetEights are gonna make a little bit of a comeback here, but ultimately, Winstrike have so much to work with. They have 5 rounds to decide one thing that will win them, right? Like, they don't even have to play their default game. They can just go for, they have 5 rounds, so every single round go for some crazy kind of gimmick play that ultimately will probably win, you know? They could probably this round just go and push A, see if that works. Doesn't work, let's push B next round. Let's push mid next round. Guys, we have 5 rounds to work with. And if none of those gimmick plays work, I mean, we still have 2 more rounds to try our usual stuff that has worked great for us so far. So yeah, Street 8, I mean, this is the correct decision to take tactical pause. Like, I want to be in the team comms right now. I want to be in the voice call, to be honest. I want to hear like this in-game leader speech must be legendary right now. I don't even think it's like worth going over strats right now. I feel like what Street 8 need is that mentality, that mindset that they can actually take it. They know the strats. They probably know all the strats. They probably know all the things like, oh, you refrag and all that. Right now, they just need that motivation. They just need that belief that they can actually make it. And once they have that belief, if they eventually do, well, that's where it starts. You know, it starts with the belief. So we'll see if Street 8 believe, if they think that they can at least take us to the 3rd map. But honestly, the odds are just could not be any worse for them.
Absolutely. And honestly, this pause, again, I agree that speech had to be legendary. But Street 8, now that they've fully bought, everybody's here, they're feeling good. Now they just got to get up in here, get that bomb planted. And looks like they're taking the site. They're making sure everything's getting clear. Ooh, coming down. He hears it. It's huge. All right, the bomb is down. They fell to 2-5. Now, honestly, I thought the last round was going to be just kind of a fun fake pistol because they had plenty of cash, but they wanted more cash. But they've all bought up. But now it's all up to a part. 1v5. This could be the biggest clutch ever, but it's definitely not going to be. And so it's like the fact that it was just kind of like they almost faked, though they kind of didn't, but it still may work in their favor. Right now, they're still going up against a Street 8 fully stacked, fully decked. And yeah, he heard that. Just beautifully waiting for him to peek the corner.
Look at this.
Yeah.
He basically like a sick dog. He picked the corner to die in. That's like just
no.
not the position you want to find yourself in. Apart, he does go down. But again, this just seems like one of those bittersweet endings where it looks good, but like, where was this before? Right? Like, Street 8 still have 4 more rounds to find. And this is exactly what I said. Winstrike are going for that gimmick play. They all have pistols. They're just gonna all push. And well, that's working. That's working. Lunax and Yudo, they get 2. Because Street 8, they simply did not expect something like this. So now, actually, the tides have shifted towards Winstrike again. Sure, like, they don't have the weapons, but they have 1 player more. And especially on the CD side of things, that's easier to deal with. Now, SLV, okay, never mind. He is putting in some action here, but in a 2v3 situation with Franzi's on a rifled M16 and some utility, it's definitely doable. I'm not saying that they will do it, but it's definitely doable. And even if it's not, there's still 3 more rounds to work with if you're on the side of Street 8. So yeah, they're looking solid. Mysterio is going to take down Franzi, so I guess with this, the round does end. But still, he most likely will be able to retain this this rifle here. The scoped in rifle, and so he will move towards, or at least try to save it. I mean, Raz does take him down eventually, but you see what I mean with those gimmick plays. Like Winstrike, they were in lead in one moment in this round, and they only had pistols, and that's often just, you know, going for that crazy thing that might work once and will not work for the remainder of the game. And now with them being fully bought up, with skill being on that AWM, which I mean he has been very solid with so far. I don't even think that Street 8 are going to take this to the 8th one. I feel like Winstrike are probably going to shut it out in this one.
Yeah, I think potentially they might. I mean, Winstrike, all they have to do is get 1 more. Now, granted, they have a little bit of buffer here. They technically have 3 rounds total that they can, one of these they have to win. And it's looking solid. It's not too bad, but it's also not looking the best. I mean, they're getting into the bomb site. Street 8's got the bomb planted. Now they have to retake it, all coming from virtually the same direction. So there's no spin around 3 times to go around the map. Their timer has been set. Look at that skill. Taken out, not broken. He does have the which is great to see coming out here. The potential last round. Grenades flying everywhere. Rask going down. Flood's already able to get 1 for himself. Ooh, Mysterio for another. And come from the side, taking out Franz. Perfect timing. And I think it seems like everything's falling apart. Now, it's going to be great going into Rust, technically, speaking based on stats, maybe not. But it would be great to be going into the third map. But look at this, Mysterio doing what he does, coming up, jumping on, and getting a clean clavicle shot right there. Perfect to follow up a headshot. And now it's 9-8. None of us expected this. I mean, unless you guys are just diehard Winstrike fans, and you thought maybe like, hey, that maybe their Steam's gonna run out, or hey, maybe you're Street 8 fan, and you're just like, no, you gotta wait. They're gonna turn it up the last second. But they're doing great. Winstrike is on a good play, but they've got to be able to secure this last one. I know that's a huge hill to get over, and Street 8 is doing a great job of continuously taking these rounds, but someone's got to break somewhere, and currently right now it's Winstrike.
Yado has to play a round of his life here. He does not want to go to the third map. Nobody on Winstrike wants to, especially after being 8-2 up. Things are looking so good on the CD side, nevertheless, but then somehow, Street 8, round by round, just able to find their stride, able to find their way back into this game. And the thing is, the economy could not be worse on Winstrike, so they have to get this round, and the party is looking to do just that. He takes down SLV. 4 more players separating Winstrike from winning the finals. 4 more. And with skill peaking, that's going to be 3, that's going to be 2.
Oh my goodness.
Now a 2v5 Rasklo. Just so bittersweet. Street 8, they have 2 players alive. This is completing such a comeback, but that's gonna be it.
Wow.
Winstrike, they are your minor champions, winning it out in a crazy fashion. 2-0 in the grand final. But honestly, it was way closer. It was way closer than it seems on. That first game, sure, Street 8 kind of let it go. But in the second one, especially 8-9, and with, on the opposite side of things, Winstrike having pretty much no money if they lose this round, it was really do or die for them in that one. If they lost this one, it's 9-9, and they're on pistols. So, as close as it gets in the second game, congratulations to both teams, but Winstrike just proving to be a little bit better, not letting it slip.
Yeah, that was insane of a comeback if I've ever seen one. But unfortunately, they weren't able to secure that comeback. And Winstrike just securing it down. I feel like they were just in those rounds they were losing. It's almost like a computer, right? They were just learning and learning and learning as they were getting taken out, and eventually learned as much as they needed to do and was able to execute a counter move that just absolutely blew out. And honestly, it was because of skill. He got 4 out of the 5. I mean, that was insane. He really showed up on that last round. It was the main player to winning that round. Him getting those 3 kills back to back was really that main catalyst. And so once it became a 2-5, there was nothing left to do. As a combined team, Street 8 was able to do a lot when it was going up against these later rounds. But unfortunately, as they continued to move through, 2 versus 5 just was not in the cards. Because, again, they were doing great combined, and they were able to find their rhythm. As you can see in these highlights, those numbers up on the scoreboard is just going to keep going up and up. But skill, showing off literally his skills, and his beautiful snipe shots as well, just obliterating them, was the ultimate reason why they are now the champions, the #1 here in Standoff 2 Minor. And the reason why we know in the past that they won the LAN, and Street 8 was 2nd place, and unfortunately we see a repeat of that, and now Street 8 is now #2 again, and Winstrike is #1.
Yeah, I feel like if that first map was closer, or at least if Street 8 were able to take it, then we would have had a very interesting third map. But honestly, just a little bit too late, just simply a little bit. They just needed to do what they did so well on Zone 9. Just a couple of rounds earlier, literally 3 or 4 rounds could have completely changed the outcome of this best of 3. But, so we are going to conclude this finals with 2, well, what looks like shutouts on paper. Saints taking over Horizon in a 2-0 fashion. It was a close game, was definitely close games, but Saints proved to be better. And then Winstrike taking down Street 8, but at one point it definitely seemed like the comeback of dreams. is going to be possible, because it takes a certain type of team and a certain type of players to not lose your motivation when you're down 2-8 and to keep going and to arrive at that 8-9 scoreline. It was literally all down to that one round, because again, if Winstrike lost, then it's Pistols. But Skill, I mean, he has to be the MVP. I feel like just because of that one round, like, he had an alright performance in, like, you know, all the other rounds, and his teammates maybe were performing a little bit better, but he was really the man that you know, took Winstrike over the edge. He was that one round getting that double, or I believe it was triple, very hard one to get as well, because he was behind the column getting rushed and pushed from different locations, so he had to isolate his gun duels perfectly, just do everything perfectly, and that's exactly what he did. And yeah, I mean, Skill, props to him. If not because of him, then we probably would have gone to the third map, and who knows what happens there, especially with that mental that Winstrike must go into the third map, where they were just 8-2 on lead, on zone 9, their map pick, and they were looking to, you know, take it in 2 rounds, and then suddenly, again, theoretically, STREETEIGHT complete this crazy comeback, and we head into map 3. Like, that must have been so hard for Winstrike if that were to happen. But again, Skill is there. That's why he's voted, you know, the best player for some years, and also definitely the best AWM player. He does finish it off with a rifle, but at the same time, like, absolutely crazy. And yeah, it just shows, you know, team play wins you games for sure, but also sometimes that individual skill is what you need in those crucial rounds. You just need one player to show up. And I mean, again, props to both teams, but Skill, it's just hard to do anything when Skill plays like that, right?
Yeah, and they both are able to walk away happy at the end of the day. I'm sure that STREETEIGHT is not happy that they did not win, but they are still securing second place in the first minor of the year, and they're going to be able to take home that cash prize. So overall, not too bad for them. Very happy that they were able to keep it so close, but just unfortunately came out to a 2-0. And again, since it's a best of 3, it's all about wins. You know, we started out with just being about the rounds. Now it's about the overall victory. And Winstrike absolutely deserved it. Happy with that. They did a wonderful job. And yeah, Skills, just top-notch play. And the fact that we were able to see those kills, you know, just warms my heart to see that more people are coming out, maybe with some more snipers coming in the future. Hopefully we get to see that. But, you know, we just get to see a repeat of the LAN, which is okay. That gives STREETEIGHT something that they definitely need to work on. You know, they can go back and watch them try to analyze what they need to do and figure out what they need to fix. And again, having that ability for that one person to really clutch it is a huge deal. Once you have the team play down, you're good. You can definitely win, but sometimes you just need that X factor of that one person coming in, getting 3 kills, and able to get that round right there at the end. So congratulations for them. Winstrike is your champions of the Standoff 2 minor. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. It's been an absolute honor and a blast being here. I'm Master15. That's Twist. You guys can find us on the YouTubes and the social medias. It's been great. Hopefully you'll be able to see us back here in the hot seat yet again for another set of matches. But congratulations to Winstrike. Twist, is there anything you want to end off with?
Yes, I want to give a cheat sheet for any potential team that wants to win the next minor or the next major or whatever it is. There are 3 things you need to focus on, all right? This is the analyst. I started off as an analyst caster, so this is the analysis coming in, all right? First, you need to get good on Sandstone. Then you need to get good on Breeze, and then you need to get a dedicated AWM player that can win those long-range gunfights. And if you have these 3 on lockdown, you are good. Like, you don't need to send me any money. It's fine. You know, I'll do just fine.
No
You will win. Yeah, no royalties needed. But you will win the next minor, right? If you just get good on Breeze and Sandstone, you're gonna be unstoppable. Trust me, because nobody is good on those maps, and they're gonna be unbannable because, you know, if it's just Sandstone, then they can ban. If it's just 2 maps, they can't do anything. They can't counter it. So, yeah, no need to send any royalties. You know, it's fine. It's fine. I'll be just fine. But you guys should be as well. I feel like we had amazing finals. It definitely was a blast, as you said, casting alongside with you and also with DB. Shout out to him if he's watching. But, you know, all things do have to come to an end, and I feel like this is a pretty good end. Congratulations to Winstrike for winning. Congratulations to everyone who competed. Do compete if you are a Sandstone 2 player and you're looking to get in that, you know, professional scene as well. You know, go sign up some tournaments. Maybe it won't be tier 1, but eventually, if you keep playing, eventually you should get to the finals as well. And yeah, I think with that we shall end this minor and this stream. So thank you guys for watching. As always, I've been Twist, the Daymaster, and we'll see you guys hopefully next time. Goodbye.